We are live in a 20-second delay, so now we're going to have to wait for the comments. But how is everybody doing tonight?
Feeling good. Better than I deserve.
You're almost looking kind of tired.
Oh, look at that. He's got a shirt on there. He's trying to show
I've even got my pal Lumber shirt on for you tonight, Kev.
How's
nice.
that?
I like it.
How's that? Does that look good?
Oh yeah, that you're looking pretty sharp. You're looking pretty sharp.
How come Kev doesn't have one on?
I don't. It's hanging up on the wall.
Oh,
I need to let my head cool down from all that sun today.
Oh yeah.
It's hot. Oh no. Facebook's giving me a problem here that it's trouble streaming, and it may be an issue with Facebook.
Oh, great.
All right.
Well then.
Do all the testing we want until
you know what they say with the best laid plans, eh?
Yeah, I know. Like, we couldn't have tested it any better than what we did today. I don't get it. Where's this?
It's still live. You're just not seeing chat, or?
Yeah, I don't know. This is going live.
Oh.
I don't know how to do it. Can I re-edit it?
Well, here I just hit comments and all the chat's up.
Yeah, that one there will be the YouTube side of it, like all those guys, and then there's we're trying to hook it up to Facebook too, so we send out all the Facebook groups and stuff. So
yeah, I literally can't do anything.
Oh, well, that's all right, I suppose. But that's the worst problem we run into. I don't think we've got too many of them.
Yeah, well, sorry guys, I don't know. I can't. It doesn't allow me to do anything, and I don't want to waste too much time on here. Just as we're having an issue streaming to Facebook, this may be an issue on Facebook's end. It's possible the stream was ended or deleted on Facebook, which I didn't do. We'll keep trying and let you know if it's resolved. Please check Facebook to ensure the stream looks okay.
We're going to get like halfway through this and have like a whole pile of Facebook comments coming.
Yeah, you are most likely right on that. Anyway, now we've got that all. Everybody knows what's going on with the Facebook. I am here tonight. We got in the middle Andrew from Eastonmade Wood Splitters, and well, on my right is Chris from In the Woodyard. You all know him and his YouTube channel, and his new wood chip YouTube channel, Out of the Woodyard, which is great. I got to catch up to that. I want to watch that beaver trapping video that you just posted. I think it was today.
Yeah.
This morning? Yeah.
I got another 10 trapping videos to come.
Oh, wow.
They're
right
on.
Those are pretty neat. I'll have to get a hat for sure.
You can only wear it if it's about 40 below, though, because they're ridiculously hot.
Which is good, I guess, in a way. But yeah, we don't get too many 40 belows.
I say 40 because all the people living in Celsius world know what that is, because it's the same here.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Minus 40 is minus 40. It doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Mark says, there it is. Mark says, Prime Minister up there did not receive his cut from Facebook. And you're probably right. Or they censored me. But we'll leave that at that.
Entirely possible.
Before I forget these questions, these are right from the very beginning. These were here when I showed up. So, Chris, concerning the new inner lift device for loading the IBC totes from trailers, would you consider that?
No.
No? It's probably too tough on a dump trailer anyway, right? If it's what I'm thinking.
IBC totes aren't for me. I'd need 700 of them or so, just at the size I'm at now, and I don't feel like loading them and lifting them. And then everybody that doesn't do this doesn't realize when you get to a location, you got to unload them also. Then you got to get them back. It's logistics and handling, and there's no easy way. Everybody wants to spend money to do everything 100% easier. It's a lot of work no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because it's a lot more work, I find, stacking it in a tote than it is in a pile.
Yeah, I am going to use the totes for my cookies, because then I can move them around the woodyard, and I'm going to use, I got 4 of them now I just got in. I'm going to cut out the bladder somehow and make a chute so the sawdust can go right in it, and I can have all my sawdust in an IBC tote then.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture. I'll show you what we did with ours. And actually, I don't know if it's the same height or not, Andrew.
No, it's going to be a little bit lower on the bar saws. It's a little bit trickier to get into the IBC tool where the circular saw is like it's up high enough that it goes across and then.
Well, there's two sizes of totes, so I'll figure out which one works better, the small ones or the big ones, and figure out some type of a plasticky shoot thing. I'll figure something out.
Yeah, it's I could actually probably pull it up here for you. It is the short one is what we use. We do a little modifying it, but it's like easy enough to modify. I'll get to another question here and I'll look for it. I don't want to.
So do you fill one like every day, every other day, once a week? What?
How many we fill up?
Yeah.
Doing 12-inch, we can fill up 3 in a day.
No kidding.
Yeah. Oh, you produce a lot of sawdust. And like 12-inch, you're doing a lot more cutting, right?
Okay. And then what are you doing with the sawdust?
Some's being sold and some just goes into like a mulch pile, and it goes to a mulch facility. They'll grind it up and it'll be either mulch or turn into dirt that goes into what's the company? I forget. Wow, I'm having trouble tonight remembering these names. I always forget their name. They just got taken over. It's not Old Treat. There's their competition. I can't think of it, but yeah, they're massive. They're just the Mississauga, I guess, Brampton, Mississauga area. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they've got massive piles there, and they'll take it. We'll load them up, and usually we need an excavator in the yard because loading up a 53-foot walking floor is just too high. We don't have a payloader or anything, or I guess a Zoom boom would do it, but yeah. So you'll produce lots.
I figured so.
Yeah. But you're making, you're putting the wood out to show for it too, right?
Right.
Yeah, like with your machine, Chris, you're probably not going to see a whole lot more sawdust in the yard than what you normally would for like a given load of wood sort of thing. Like the 404 chain's a little wee bit bigger, but it's not a whole lot. It's just that you're making it like that much faster.
Right. Well, and the nice thing is that it's separated and clean. There's no other debris in it. That's what'll be nice, so I can do something with it.
Yeah, that's exactly where normally you just have it right on the ground, right, and just have to kind of scoop it up and shovel it up and try and find a hole for it.
Yeah. Here it is. So this is what you can see what we did here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We cut out right by where the chute is, just out of the tote. And if you actually take the little bars that go across the top, you can put them across. And that will hold that plastic bubble in there, and you can dump it if you got to dump it, or dump it in the trailer. But yeah, we'll fill like 3 of those up a day.
Like on the 22, like the chute comes out right about where the fender is, like where the top of the fender is. That's almost where the chute is on it.
Oh, so it's a lot lower than you almost need like half a tote. Just cut the tote in half, and they're easy enough to clean up or to cut.
Yeah.
And we'll get going here. Andrew, would you ever consider a processor option for an automatic wedge height adjustment for each log to be split based on sensor that detects log thickness?
Very, 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 very difficult to do. Like, could we do it? Yeah, 100%. Like we've talked about it, it would be incredibly, incredibly different to do it. Incredibly difficult to do, because like you have to have one sensor, which isn't so bad to measure the height of the log or the diameter of the log. That we can do that fairly easily. Then in the cylinder that runs the wedge, you have to have a linear sensor inside there. Then you have to have the logic that matches everything. It would be incredibly difficult, complex to do it. Could we do it? Yeah, we could, but it may be. I think for a lot of it, it may be just be chasing a ghost, like from. Depending on the log, like if you have a knot, and you might go from 14 inches and right down to 4 inches, depending on where a crotch is or whatever, right? So it's not going to be incredibly ideal in that respect. If you're doing hydro poles or something all the time, you have no problem doing it. Just would vary so much from piece to piece, right? So.
Well, if they would just supply us with bolts and straight logs like telephone poles,
it'd be a piece of cake then.
Yeah.
You don't think I couldn't make a firewood processor perform then?
Yeah, you're exactly right there. And like a log turns or it gets on like a horn or a limb and it sits up higher, and it's really not that to adjust that wedge is not. It's right there. It's all in the, like for me, it's all in the joystick, and it's just a thumb movement, right? My thumb's almost always on that toggle, so that's pretty easy.
And for Chris, it's one of the 35 levers on it. So
37. There's a few.
Who do we got here tonight? We got James. We got Renee. Hello to the yes, I made it on time. Good, beautiful day, everyone. Senior Firewood. Have a huge dead ash waiting for the 500i LTD.
I cut a big ash today, about a 30-incher.
That's a big piece of ash.
Yes, it is. She was a big, wide girl.
You guys got emerald ash borer there, don't you?
Yo, yeah. In 3 years, there'll be no more ash trees. So
yeah, same as us. Gone. Yeah, it's going to be done here shortly. We got Dan, House of Smoke and Outdoors. How's it going, Dan? I haven't seen your name around here before. Welcome. What else was I going to ask you here? Any big plans for your new channel?
The new channel?
Or your new. Do you have any big trips? Like, what are we looking forward to this summer coming from out of the Woodyard?
Well, if you want to be brutally honest, it's going to be a lot of killing stuff.
That's all right.
I'm planning on doing some fishing. I got a buddy whose sons do noodling, and they've got the unofficial state record for a flathead catfish. They got like a 60-pounder or something last summer. And
that's a big fish.
Yeah. And I'm going to go do some of that and take the GoPros and go under the water and see what I can do for that. Do some fishing, and then other hunting trips, whatever comes up. Whatever I like to do outside, chasing stuff.
I think that's one thing I'm not quite sure if I could actually do the noodling thing. I don't know if I could actually. That just gives me the heebie-jeebies. I just can't see that happening for me. I don't like
they say it's scary because then you get a big one. Anything that's once you get to about 40 pounds or so, you stick your hand in their mouth. It feels like it's going to break your arm. From everything they've told me, and you're under a ledge. Rock usually, because there's a lot of rock ledges where they go under, and they say a lot of times they have a guy that will hold their feet, so when they go in they can hang their feet and they go underwater with them, and they're all the way like 6-7 foot length reaching out under the water up to the corner where they are.
Holy cow.
I don't think I could do it. I just can't see that happen. I love fishing, but I don't think I could do that.
Well,
you forgot about the snakes and snapping turtles too.
But we don't have poisonous snakes here, and snapping turtles, no big deal.
Yeah, I'll pass on that. I'll stay in the boat and fish.
It's the fear of the unknown.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right on that.
Fun.
Yeah. We got Dave Boyd in the house. Hey, Kevin and Andrew, greetings from Missouri. How are you doing? I haven't talked to him for a long time.
Well, thanks for coming out, Dave. It's great to hear you or see you. Anyways, that's just fantastic seeing Dave.
Mm-hmm. He was actually playing around with making a solar power wood splitter.
Really? That'd be pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't talked to him for a while, so I'm gonna have to have another phone call with him and see how all that's going.
That would be really cool. I hope I'd love to see that if he does. It'd be really cool to see that.
Yeah, it's pretty. I was really interested when I talked to him before. I don't know whether he got it done but it should be good. I got too busy fooling around looking for the picture, and then I fell behind on my comments. But
I can answer a few of them while you're looking. I saw somebody want to know about my gravel. I got 6 loads of gravel and 2 more on the way, so I'm graveling the whole area that was mud. So that's all done. You'll see that coming soon.
That'll be great. That'll make a huge difference for you. It was getting pretty sloppy there back in the spring, eh?
Yeah.
Our yard's the same. Like we're gonna put on another 35,000 square feet on the side of it like next summer. So I don't want to do anything with it right now, but like come spring and fall, it's just complete and total soup.
Do you have clay or sand?
It's clay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like lots of clay. Like just stick right to your boots going across the air. It's just not fun.
And they keep getting
40 miles to the west. It's all sand.
Wow. Yeah, it's never fun walking across a clay yard and it's stick. When I was out west, it was gumbo, and you just walk, your boot just keeps getting bigger. It's
like slime. Just like slime.
It's like it's only a little bit of rain. They're like, no, we're done. I'm like,
yeah.
What are you talking about? Hopped out of the tractor. Oh yeah, we're done. Yeah. Why does Chris look 20 years younger than the other folks' channels?
Filters. I make myself look old so that I'm more impressed with people when I actually work.
We got Boom from Hawaii. Wow,
Boom
all the way from
Hawaii.
Hawaii. That's awesome.
I don't know.
Hawaii right now.
I don't know if Boom's the fellow that got the splitter in Hawaii or getting it. We actually sent a splitter to Hawaii.
Wow.
No kidding.
Last week or the week before. It might even be 3 weeks now. We sent a splitter out to Hawaii. Yeah. I don't know what the guy does in land clearing and stuff. And I guess the one island has wood on it that they use, but it doesn't have it on the other island. So he splits it on the one island and then trucks it or ships it to the other islands or
and
something.
They use it mainly for cookouts, I'm told. Is that right?
I would think so, yeah.
That's pretty awesome right there.
Yeah,
That I did not
I would
expect.
think if you got close enough to a hill over there, you just throw a stake on the ground and away you went.
Oh, just on top of the lava.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Well done, steak.
James is wondering, who is this eastonmade everyone speaks of?
I haven't got a clue. I haven't found him yet.
The firewood doctor. Are there any plans for a smaller eastonmade processor, say under 50K range, or is the market saturated with good equipment with strong competition?
I don't think I'd ever be able to parts for it, honestly. Like for that range to do something and build something of good quality, it'd be almost impossible to do. Then at the other end of you have to service it too, right? So
yeah,
I don't think you'll ever see us in that range. Like maybe even like 75 or 80. Even if you look at the other guys that are building smaller bar cells, like they're creeping up in that 90, 95 range now. Like steel and parts are crazy right now. So
yeah, even some brands I looked at that were I don't know how to say this the right way, considered the cheaper ones. I looked at size wise, and they're 70 to 80 grand now.
Yeah.
And everything, the cost of everything coming in is pushing those costs of the cheaper ones up.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and it's tricky to get something. We were doing really good through COVID for a couple of years up to 4 or 5 months ago, and like it's getting hard to get your hands on stuff. Like we're pretty creative. Like we have a lot of different suppliers for different things, and like I've always tried to keep like different avenues open, relationships with different suppliers, but it's like it's tricky to get stuff right now, and I think it's getting worse rather than better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to keep going that way.
I think if you look at like the other manufacturers, like I think you'll see that with like engines in particular and stuff like that. I know like Briggs, we have so many of the V twins that we can buy right now, and then we get like a little bit here and a little bit here and then a little bit here. Then like next July we're allowed to get like 200 of them, which like 200 engines for us is that's next month. you know what I mean? Like we go through so many of them, and they got them next July. Briggs has a 92 week, 93 week lead time on the big V twins, and they're made in Atlanta, I think. So
I'm just playing around here to see if I can get this. I can't. Won't let me do it. Seeing if I could re-get it back on
See if you can get it back onto the Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I was playing with, but it won't even.
Well, I'll take a turn here on the question thing. Jeez, where are we here?
I don't think I can do it. I don't think it will allow me to for some reason.
Do you see one there for you, Chris?
Questions?
Well, you should ask Wayne about his raccoons that he had to feed before. That's why he missed the first bit.
Have you ever seen that YouTube channel where the guy feeds raccoons wieners?
Yeah.
You've seen it, haven't you, Chris?
It didn't sound right the way you said it, yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he does. And he's got a huge channel of this guy feeding like wild raccoons wieners.
There's a guy that has 2 otter live in his house with him, and his channel is huge too. He's got millions of followers, and all it is videos of his otters sitting at the kitchen table eating and in his tub, and it's weird. But hey, there's firewood channels too. So
you know what? You're absolutely right. When I got into this, I thought, who wants to listen to some redneck or who watch some redneck split wood and talk a bunch? But apparently, it's a thing. Thanks, guys.
I did see Gage's favorite one, feeding the seagull.
Oh, did you watch the hour and a half of that or however long? I can't believe Gage watched the whole thing. Like I had designer engineer Gage. He's a super brilliant man, like super nice guy. He gets into some weird things.
Like when I saw it, I'm like, oh, and it keeps on going, but the guy's got like 2 million subscribers. Oh, wow.
That's
crazy.
Well, one thing a lot of people don't realize, it's not the subscribers, it's your watch time.
Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right.
I noticed that too, because what I was, if you look at our earlier videos, like I'd have videos that were 20, 25 minutes. And when I cut them down to 12, I didn't have near the response, because I was trying to get them to a point of like 10, 11, 12 minutes. And I didn't have near the response out of it at all.
That's why I have videos that are an hour and 15 minutes on some of the movie type things I do with my brother. And there's other ones that are 15 to 20 minutes. Because my average watch time is 13 or 14 minutes, something like that, which is like 3 times the average. The average is like 5 or 6 on YouTube.
Yeah, and I would think even at 5 or 6 minutes, you're still doing, like if you're on YouTube, you're still doing probably pretty good. Yeah.
So watch time is everything. That's the number one statistic YouTube looks at, is how much time do you have people's eyeballs.
Yeah.
The likes are okay, comments are okay, subscribing is okay, but nothing trumps the watch time. That's everything.
Yeah.
That's why I tell guys, when you're watching, you don't have to be watching. Just let it run on your computer all day long while you're at work, and it'll be good.
Yeah.
Piece of cake.
Chris, have you had any neighbors in your business district raise concerns of your firewood operation?
Yes. They want to know when I can deliver wood to them.
That's good. That's good neighbors to have.
Yes. It hasn't been an issue at all. I've got real good neighbors around me. It is an industrial park. It's a light industrial. And the guy that's the developer, when I first started doing firewood, like about 7-8 years ago, came in one day, and I know him because he hunts behind me. He has a bunch of land back behind me that they hunt on. And he says, did you get your secondary use permit for this? I'm like, what are you talking? I said, really? And he was real serious. He says, yeah. He says, you got another business going here. You need a secondary use. Because he's the guy that determines what goes on in the business part, because he's the developer. I said, is that something I need to think about? He said, no, I'm just yanking your chain. He said, I don't care.
Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I've got a buddy in town here that he bought a commercial property, and he does store locks. He does it with sea cans, and I think the lot was 250 feet wide, and it was already an existing lot. Already had a business there and everything. He just bought a small, like mobile home business. We were like, it's just a small spot there, and he I think it's 250 feet wide. And since he bought it, he leveled it all off. Like, did a really beautiful job of leveling it all off with everything, and they were gravel and cleaned it all up, and then. I guess the town now wants them to have a 90-foot setback all the way around it, and the sea cans are 40 feet in and the lot's only like 250 feet wide. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. And it's like literally in the middle, like right on the edge of town, and there's not even anything near it.
He must be right on a major road then, or something.
Yeah, it's not terribly busy there. There's a set of railroad tracks there, and it's
but his driveway's probably accessed right off of one of the main roads. That's why.
Yeah, it is,
yeah, I'm in an industrial park and I'm back in a corner, so it's not an issue for me.
Yeah. No, it just seemed like a fishy thing that it was fine. It was fine all those years before until Chad bought it 2 months ago, and all of a sudden it's a huge deal. But I guess it is what it is.
When you make major changes to commercial property, no matter what it is, you got to go through permits. When I got my property, it's about 4 acres. The main thing I had to worry about was the drainage for the DNR and all the permits. That was like $25,000 just to get all the permits done, all of the grading, and it was just. And that's what held everything up when I built my building 20 years ago.
Oh wow, that's crazy. But then, like, you gotta. If not, they can come in and just.
Tell you what you gotta do.
Yeah,
I've actually been really fortunate. The town's been absolutely awesome with me. Like whenever we've needed something, we put in a second driveway there last summer. And I don't know if they were like a week from the time we called them, the time they gave us the permit and said go ahead and do it. They've been really great with me, which is good. But
smaller town, more than likely, I'm guessing, and you're providing employment, and that says a lot.
More tax.
Yeah. Lots
which is good.
Oh yeah, taxes.
The town's been great though. The whole, even everybody in the town's been really supportive. So it's
yeah. We got Edwin, a new recipient of a 48C. I have only one question: how do you make it so good and sell it so cheap?
I got good credit. Well, I really appreciate that. I got his probably two or 3 weeks ago. Drew dropped it off. I don't think he's I can answer. I think it's either Minnesota or he might be. Thought he was over in that neck of the woods somewhere. I know we sent one there just not too long ago, just to that side, but I'm not quite sure where Ed is at exactly. But I didn't think it was maybe too far from you, Chris, honestly. So, or that side of the world.
Yeah, his name sounds familiar. I think he's one of the guys that contacted me. There's 2 guys, just so you know, that contacted me saying they have 48Cs. One guy is in Ripon, which is, I don't think that's not even an hour away, and the other guy's north of me by maybe 2 hours. And
yeah.
48Cs, and I told them, I said, I'll be coming. We're going to do some videos, and they're like, bring it. So,
all right, on. That's awesome. No, there's been actually for the eastonmade process, there's been quite a few of them like go out into your specific, like Wisconsin and Minnesota, like in around there. There's been quite a few of them.
And that's weird because we've got 3 manufacturers just north of us.
Yeah, so and like three really good manufacturers over there too. Like they build really good stuff. Like everybody over in your neck of the woods in Wisconsin, but build.
The guys I talked to told me the brand they had. I'm not going to say who, and they said the reason they switched is they're having a lot of problems, and so that's what I heard.
Oh, well, honestly, I can't say much. We all. in my experience, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. So it might have been built on a Friday or something. I'm not quite sure.
The what?
Every once in a while, I don't know why you're.
I don't know.
You just run into that every once in a while. I don't know why you do, but
we got Andrew. Do you use Iqan controllers in your processors?
If I knew what that was, I'd let you know. I'm really not quite sure, honestly. It's all fly by wire. It runs on a bus cable. If that's what you're thinking, Garnet. There's literally like on Cav's machine. There's two wires running the cab, A cab. Like there's really nothing. Like there's really no wiring at all that runs in the cab. It's really a slick setup.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I made it easy. Like Cav switched his controller from right hand to left hand. I can literally just switch the boxes, whichever side if you want the joystick on.
Yeah, I'm not. If that's what he's talking about, because you guys, Bell's used to use Sure Grip controllers. Now I don't know what the new ones are. They're good. I have no issues with it. I'm happy with it.
I'm not quite sure what the brand is, honestly, guys, of the controllers we use. There's 3 or 4 of them on, and it's kind of nice because like in a situation like we can like bring one out or send one out to a customer. They can change it literally in a matter of a couple of minutes and change just about any aspect of the machine, how it functions, and how it performs, and how it runs. Like it's there's a lot we can do with them compared to like the Bell system. The only thing that had logic or a computer on it was just the splitter portion of it, where everything else was hydraulic, mechanical. So you were very limited in what you could actually accomplish with it.
Yeah. It's more, you can fine tune it more, I think, in my eyes. And that fine tune, if it gets where you need to be, depending on what you're doing, can be sent to everyone as well. Yeah. And everyone gets that, which is 4 bolts and 1 plug to change that.
Yeah.
Which is super easy. I think in my opinion, I think that's like the way to do it, right?
Yeah,
it's
and we even looked into it to do it. We're trying in the future. We may even do it that it's like it has a Bluetooth module on, or like a router or something on it that you can like just hotspot on your phone, and we can plug into the machine from the shop and then literally tune anything, dial anything in. The technology just isn't quite there that it's affordable yet. I know a couple of like scissor lifts or the big bucket things the arborists use, like big lifts. Like I know some of them are like that. But it'd be nice to get to that point. Just the technology isn't there, and the volume to do it affordably isn't there yet. So maybe someday.
Yeah. Good. Andrew, even though I am for the other team, sorry, no hard feelings. That's awesome of you to give Lone Chris a processor.
No worries, Dad. It's great to see you.
And that Chris is just up to his game there now. Sales are going to go up now. Says, I'm sure chips will fly with a 115 bar saw.
Yeah.
Oh, they do. Because the video I had of that 22 MB, that was your machine, Chris.
Yeah, that's
that I saw. Yeah, they are nice.
One thing I noticed is when you're cutting, you either got to wear eye protection, or I'm gonna have to put up some type of either screen or plexiglass, because I mean they come right through that mesh metal.
Yeah, and we talked about that when we were doing it. That like the only we didn't like is if we have some sort of a guarding there and you put like a glass in behind it, it's going to get real dirty real quick. Like with oil and stuff. Like because like on the Bell's, well, it might not be that bad actually, because it's on the other side. Like on the Bell's machines, the glass was on the opposite side of it, so there's always bar saw coming off.
The bar oil, we had to turn the bar oil down because it was just like a mist coming on everything. So we oiled the whole machine really nice the first time we ran it.
There you go. And it's one of those things that like some guys seem to like a lot of it, and then some guys don't seem to want as much of it. So it's one of those things that it's kind of preference on it. So
I'd rather have more than too little. But
yeah. And keep going on that bar saw. What type of chain is on Chris's processor?
It's a 404 harvester chain is what they call it. So it's an 80 gauge 404 chain. You can file it with a 7/32 file, but you're just about to pull it off and grind it in most cases. It did a file. You can file on the machine, but it's really awkward. Like the fenders in the way, it's just kind of tricky to do it.
Yeah.
So where do you get your chains? Because I'm going to need to buy a few spares. Where should I get them? Any special place?
No, not necessarily.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if you have like where all the harvester guys, you got lots of harvesters there. Yeah, wherever those guys are getting them, they can spin one up for you, or buy your own spinner if you got it. That's what we do.
We have a spinner here. We don't spin our own anymore. We buy them in, and like we're like an Oregon dealer through the Oregon distributor. I can't even think of who the name of the company is. Right now. No,
Or,
it's they're out of Quebec. I think it's Theo Turgeon or somebody like that. I'm not even quite sure.
We've got a distributor like 10 minutes from us, like the Oregon distributor. So that's where we just get spools and we spin up our own chain because we don't get good deals like you guys get in the States. Like,
oh no, like
$15 a loop.
Like going through the forestry shows and stuff down there, like what you can buy stuff for is incredibly, it's mind-boggling compared to what it costs for something simple up here.
Yeah, like the chains I bought last year, I bought a bunch of Oregon chains. I think my brother bought a case of them because it was normally if you go to like a retail outlet, you're going to pay 30-ish, could be a little more, a little bit less for like 24-inch chain. We were getting them for like 15 or something like that. It's half price.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So you just buy in bulk.
Yeah. Well, that's, you'll need them. It's handy having extra chains too, especially for the processor. Most of your wood would probably stay clean because you're cut to length and forwarders, right?
Yeah. Well, but once in a while, I'm going to have to be a little more picky when I order wood. I'll tell them I don't want anything that's been dragged around the Woodyard for all year. I want stuff, and I'm going to try to buy it in the wintertime. That's when it's the cleanest. It comes off the snow and it's clean.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to, in the tree service wood, I'm having them dump it in my actual blacktop driveway. So it's not being dumped in the gravel. So then I can just move it to a pile where there's, runners and everything. So it's not touching the gravel.
Yeah.
And that's about the only huge downfall of the bar saw is that it's still a chainsaw. And it's going to dull just the same as any other chainsaw. I'm sure you've already experienced that by now. So.
No, we're cutting pretty good. We threw a chain. We had a piece that was cutting, and we didn't notice on the bottom side there was a crotch that came out, and it didn't cut all the way through. When it went to drop it, the log dropped, and it pinched it, and it threw the chain. But
put it on, and away you go again.
Yep.
Well, we got right here. Is it going to come up? Outside with Shibe. Cheers, buddy. Nice to see you. And I got Facebook working.
Oh,
really?
Yes, I got it working.
Well, that's pretty cool.
I deleted the old one and just kept pressing OK, and it worked. Cross my fingers I didn't shut this one off.
It's going there on my end. That's pretty impressive.
So, welcome everybody from Facebook. If you haven't checked out one of my streams, this is what me and Andrew, and we'll have guests like Chris from In the Woodyard on. And we're just trying to get to other platforms and keep expanding how we do this here. So this is kind of what you see here is what most of them, the format we do. Dave Boyd says the splitter is on his YouTube channel, so I'll have to check that out. Everybody else go check it out. I'm guessing it's under his name. I haven't seen that link come through, but I maybe will put that on my channel too.
Yeah, I didn't even know Dave had a YouTube channel. I'd be on that in a heartbeat.
Usually I did. We did. I was working with him a bit in 2020, and he was talking about. I was talking to him a fair bit then, but I never got to his YouTube channel for some reason.
And for anybody that's wondering, Dave is a journalist for. I guess Dave, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but a freelance journalist for the logging industry and sawmill industry, and he's put out some really, really awesome articles. Dave might be able to share some of his work or where you can see some of his writings and stuff. But Dave does a really, really, really nice job of it all.
Yeah, I haven't. I'll keep going back and checking that. I don't see anything up yet from that, but I'll keep an eye on that. Doing stuff. What's the lead time? How about we should just answer this all together? Lead times on all machines, but doing stuff wants to know on the Ultra.
The Ultra, we're telling guys like 10 to 12 months on it. You're probably going to see it in 7 or 8, honestly. It's probably more of the lead time that you're actually going to get. But that goes for everything except for the 2228s. And the reason for that is the supply chain is so volatile right now that it's really, really, really hard to say what we're gonna have. Because like right now we're just ducking and dodging, trying whatever we have parts for is what we're putting together.
Yeah.
Like at 22, 28, they're telling guys July, August of next year. Hopefully we can find I'm sure we'll find a solution for engines. But I know I talked to the guys at Honda there 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the biggest dealer and the biggest distributor in Canada said we're only going to get 75% of what our last 3 years averages are this year. So like there's absolutely no. Like it may be different in the States, but in Canada, like Honda is a cutting way back.
That's
and
crazy.
Kohler's the same. Like I've called Kohler, and they're the exact same. We're 2 years. Like
that's got to be so frustrating to not be able to get stuff to do your job. That's just, and then you got people probably not real happy, I'm guessing. But what can you do?
Yeah.
And we've even tossed around the idea of building our own engines. Honestly, like our own.
Really?
Yeah, like I have a pretty good bunch of guys locally here that actually used to build Briggs engines. Like that's what they did. They built Briggs racing engines for go-karts, junior dragsters, stuff like that. And they said it's really not that hard to do it. Honestly, it's very, very simple to do it.
So they're just buying all the components, putting them together, basically.
Yeah, and they were doing like very large volumes of these, and it wasn't like they were building 1 or 2 of them. They were building 3,000-4,000 a year or so. And junior dragsters and go karts and racing stuff like that. The only thing I think would be difficult about it would be the EPA stuff. Whether or not you could actually, I don't know whether you'd actually be able to put a tag on it, get it across the border, or ship it, or run it, or I don't know. That's kind of a gray area right now where we're not quite sure which direction to go with it.
Well, to carry on this subject of the motors, do you offer any electric processors or splitters?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like you'll see a video of a 2228 that's electric coming out here in probably a month or so. It's going to Marv Sawyer. If any of you guys know Marv Sawyer over in Rochester, super nice guy. He's getting a 2228 custom built for him. Marv's been really good to me, so it's kind of a different machine from Marv, but it'll be an electric 2228, and then we have an electric axis coming up here in the next 3 or 4 weeks here, so you'll see a video of that too.
Have you done a processor?
It's not a big deal to do a processor at all.
Yeah.
It's fairly straightforward, simple for that. So
yeah, I keep seeing guys asking about it, and I wouldn't think it's too much of a bigger deal to just have an electric motor on it.
No, it's not at all. Like on the small, like on the Ultra, the motor is not really a huge cost difference on it. Like when you go to the electric on the processor or the bigger ones or the bigger machines like the 2228, there's a pretty good increase in price on it. But then again, you don't have any maintenance with it, right? You just hit a button and go to work.
Yeah, for sure. We got Dan's in the house. Good evening, Woodhounds. What is this? How did Andrew get to be the meat in the manwich tonight? Oh, Dan. Too many White Claws for you tonight?
Forgot all about the White Claw. I still have the one with Dan's name on in the fridge.
The firewood doctor. Chris is jealous of my Woodyard location. It's in sandy country. A biblical rains all night, and by 8 a.m. it's dry enough to walk across within sinking.
Exactly. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, some people get lucky that way. Skitter Kev. Chris is a professional photographer. Probably has special filters or lenses to make him look younger. And you are exactly right on that, Ted. I believe that.
Yeah. I can make anybody look good.
Yeah. Oops, clicked the wrong one there. Chris, just saw Chris's comment about this on his video from today. I've never seen Skitter Kev's video, but here I am. Well, thanks for coming, Chris. Appreciate it. Check out, I got lots of firewood stuff from the firewood yard to the woods blogging.
There's lots and lots of it there. Yeah.
Yeah, we got everything. Right now it's firewood season for us. So yeah, lots of processors and delivering, that's for sure.
There was a comment somebody made a while ago. They want to know about how I treat and handle people that are rude, obnoxious comments.
Yeah, I did see that one come through. Yeah.
I've only eliminated, that's the way I like to say it, about a half a dozen people. You just hit the delete button and they're gone forever.
Yeah.
And it's usually not that they're rude to me, they're rude to other people. It's like, it's my channel. You're not going to be like that. So I just make them go away.
Yeah.
And if they don't play nice, it's my playground. I blow the whistle and they're gone.
Yeah. I let people have their say, but when it starts getting rude and obnoxious, that's it. And I have, I think, maybe 4.
Yeah.
But, they can say what they want about me. I honestly don't care. When it's other people, that's when I, bye-bye.
Yeah. Well, if they're fighting, I say, hey, play nice. And if they don't,
you'll see more of that than I do. But yeah, it's certain videos that gets it too. It's on mine. It's usually the Beavers stuff that gets people wound up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of part of the reason why I separated the channels, because I was putting, hunting and trapping stuff on my channel, and not everybody wants to see that. And for YouTube's sake, and for the quality of the channel, and for the growth of the channel, you're better off not confusing the algorithm. Yeah. Keep it firewood. Just keep it the same thing, and that's the smartest thing to do. When you start throwing other stuff in there, because YouTube doesn't know what to do with it. They get a video that they don't see. They analyze the words you say, the things they see in the video, your text in your title, your text in your thumbnail, the text in your description. All that goes together to decide who should we show this to. And when it doesn't match your usual audience, they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, and then when you think you have it figured out, they change it.
Yeah, but still, number one thing is they want to find the videos for the people that are interested in watching that content. And if you can use them, that's the worst thing you can do. So that's why I did a separate channel with all the fun stuff.
And I kind of agree with that. It is good to have that separated. Keep it separated. At least you can keep that. That can, depending on how your videos go, could throw a red X on you too, right?
Yeah. You don't want any check marks. You only get 3.
Yeah. So I know, guys, I watch some of the hunting, like some of the bigger guys, and it's like any stitch of blood and they're like demonetized. And
anything with guns too.
Yeah.
They have ads on there, but they won't pay you for the ads, which is weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it's YouTube. I watched someone with 100 subscribers had ads, and YouTube gets that money, right? Mm-hmm. Like they just do what they changed it, and we do what we want.
Right. Well, we could go start our own platform.
Yeah. Well, exactly. That's you play by their rules, or you do your own, right? It's
I'm not doing much in the morning if you guys want to set it up.
I have enough to do.
I did get the Facebook going, so I may be able to figure it out.
Yeah, and I don't know if I can quite do the Elon Musk to the YouTube yet. It might take a couple more years, and we'll get there maybe.
You are the Elon Musk of the processor and firewood splitter industry, don't you know that?
It's a pretty small group compared to the group that drives automobiles, though. You see.
Yeah. Or launches rockets, or what else did he do? Or didn't he start PayPal or something too?
Yeah. I'm not the guy to be doing PayPal or nothing like that either. Not at all.
We got Renee. Is it getting more expensive to ship to Washington State? Are you losing money?
Right now, we are 100%. Like a lot of the shipping stuff, like we've been telling people, like normally a really crazy amount to ship something right now, in hopes that when the time comes and their machine ships, that it's significantly lower. And the other thing we've done is we've started grouping machines together a lot better. We've got a lot better organized on that the last 3 or 4 months. If we're building machines in the shop, that group of machines is going to one zip code.
Yeah.
So like we've just organized the whole schedule by zip code. So we know that we're gonna have a full load going to Massachusetts, New England. We're gonna have a whole North Carolina, Virginia sort of thing, or Ohio and West Virginia or whatever. So like if somebody ends up calling eastonmade and thinks that the freight on it's crazy, it's likely going to be significantly less than that when we go to ship it. Just to if it's less, we'll give you a break on the freight on it for sure.
Yeah.
Your trucker that you have bring your stuff, super nice guy.
Drew's really good, eh?
He reminded me a lot of Buck and Billy Ray. Just same mannerism. We're talking. He says, "Well, who's this Bucking guy?" So he's a guy from, out in BC and does tree services. Well, I'm from BC. Maybe
yeah, Drew would be Drew and Buck and Billy would be two peas in a pod, I would think.
Yeah.
He's
super nice guy.
Drew just a great guy all around. He's super nice. He's been driving for us probably 2 years now. And it just a fluke. He showed up. We had he was working through a broker when he showed up here, and I said, "Oh, geez, don't deal with those guys." He only lives like, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes from here. No, you guys got lots of work. Just throw them on the truck whenever.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
Ken's saying, Andrew, you should teach Chris how to kick that cookie out so you don't have to pick it like you were in the first video.
I already figured it out.
Yeah. You got to give him a break, Ken.
He'll be fine. It's sort of like playing the piano. You just once you get onto it, it's a piece of cake.
Yeah, exactly. Once you get it all figured out, you really start humming along. That's when you start eating up those piles of wood and be like, I don't have enough in the yard.
Yeah, my problem is I was gone for 3 weeks trying to catch beaver, and by the time I got back, I had deliveries, just tons of them. I had lots of photography work. I had a honey-do list, and I had videos to get edited for the new channel. It's just and I had all the improvements in the woodyard with the gravel come in and everything I had to do, and it's been overload.
Oh, I bet you it would be. There'd be lots going on there, but you gotta take that time and go and do something like that. Go out, hunt or fish or whatever it is that helps you unwind. That's the thing that a lot of guys forget about, is to take a little bit of time and do that, or else you just drive yourself completely nuts.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I like to work way too much, though. I mean, if I could stay up 24 hours a day and work, I would. I don't like sleeping. It's a waste of time.
Like Da Vinci. He never slept. He said it was a waste of time.
James, Chris, any plans to cut log length on the safari lot and have your trucker take the logs down to your wood yard to run through the processor?
I think you mean on location safari, my guess. Probably not. My logger could supply me probably with 16 footers if I asked them, or even 12 footers if they did special cuts. I'm pretty sure, because I know a lot of the stuff that gets shipped down south to some of the paper mills, it gets shipped all the way down to Kentucky and some of the other plants down there from here, and they ship 16 footers pretty often. So that'd probably be about the biggest I would get. 3 foot just doesn't exist around here.
I think he was talking. The safari, I guess he called it the safari job. The one where you were cutting, you didn't think you'd get a log truck in there, or they didn't want heavy equipment in there?
Well, it says plans to cut log length.
Yes, and then ship them and then truck them back to your yard.
Oh, I probably could, but it was almost all cottonwood in that particular spot. And I can sell cottonwood, but it doesn't sell fast. I sell it in the summertime. It gets mixed in with, the lower grade wood for campfire wood. That's kind of what I do with it.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, and I thought it was a safari one. It was the guy he was doing all the grassland there.
Oh, no, that's he's doing the restoration. The prairie restoration.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't want any heavy equiment on his property. Yeah.
What about taking the processor there?
Yeah, he doesn't want any heavy equipment there.
That's too heavy for him?
We're thinking maybe what we could do is cut trees and store them there, just kind of there, and then get them when we need them. Because we can take a tractor there and load them up. But Dick. He doesn't need the money. He's doing it just for people to cut wood. He's a nice guy and lives real close to Tony, so they got to be good friends. I think they'll be buddies for life. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, good. Joe, cheers. Thank you. I just scored a job to split firewood rounds at a customer's house with the Ultra. Mike, the game player, will help me. The customer tried to do it with them all today, but gave up after 10 minutes. I would have too, Joe. It was way too hot to do anything like that today.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about having a splitter like the Ultra or any splitter. You could take around and do jobs for people. I think that's a great thing.
Yeah. We got Wayne, Andrew, with all the American businesses. Have you ever considered adding US dollar prices to your website? Would make comparing apple to apples easier for tire kickers.
Depending on what your IP address is, it will show up in your local currency.
Yeah.
So if you're in the United States, it will show up with United States pricing on. If you're in Canada, it will show up with Canadian pricing on. We normally try and keep it pretty close to the same. The dollar is always up and down, so it's really, really tricky to do that. But we have a set price for the stuff on the website. And historically, we're normally about 77 cents to the American dollar is what it is. So
yeah,
$1.30 is kind of what we base everything off of. And like depending on the month, the day, the week, we win some, we lose some. It's normally right around there.
Yeah, hard to change every single day with that. You kind of keep an eye on it, and if it keeps going somewhere bad, then you got to adjust to that.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's just we buy like almost everything we buy. Like the American dollar is like the universal currency of the world, right? Like it really is. Like everything we buy, sell, almost everything is in American dollars. If we get American dollars in, if we go to the bank, we get dinged by the bank. So we try to buy almost everything we can in the United States dollar.
Toby, how much time do you guys spend on comments and replying back? Most times you're pretty quick, Chris. Just curious how much effort it takes.
A lot of effort.
You would be incredibly busy doing that. That is,
that's
a lot. That's a lot to do. Like Chris is on the ball, Kev's on the ball. I've kind of let it go the last 6-7 months. Replying back, I'll give somebody a big heart, but it's a big job.
Yeah, I spend an hour every morning at least, sometimes 2, and then every night before I do my editing, I usually start 7, 8 o'clock. I start when it gets dark out. I come in and take a shower, eat supper, and I get to editing, and I'll answer questions for sometimes 2.5 hours, and then do editing for another 2-3 hours. And it's a full-time job, but it's like I always say, if you got an audience, you got to pay attention to them. Yeah. And if you let them go, they'll leave.
Yeah.
I try to do as much as I can, but it's getting hard. And there's certain questions I don't answer because the number one thing people don't realize is that when you're answering 200 to 300 comments every day, sometimes 400, ask one question. Don't ask 20. Yeah. And you only got so much time.
Yeah.
And
it's really great to get the feedback and everything, but it's very, very difficult to be on the ball. And I found myself in terms of like YouTube's algorithm, that was one thing that really helped me was engaging with people. And it was at a point where like I'm busy enough with kids and businesses and stuff going on that it's really, really difficult to do it all. And then
I'm getting to the point now where I'm going to have to start cutting back a little. I just physically don't have enough time. So I'll do as much as I can.
I think YouTube allows that to, or maybe you already have it set up that you can just get the questions sent to you. Like when you go into your settings on your actual channel, you can set it up so you only get questions.
Right. Yeah. I go to the comment section and I just answer them. So
yeah.
The problem a lot of times people think that I'm also answering questions from old videos, and I try to when I can, but a lot of times they ask a question I'm like, I've done like 700 some videos. I don't remember. I guess when I look at like, oh, that all takes time.
Yeah. Working man. Hey, fellows. From Maryland Eastern Shores. Question for you. Andrew, have you had any complaints about the discharge off of the table area loading the conveyor belt for the eastonmade axis?
Oh yeah, we could definitely improve that end of it. We're probably going to look at redoing the conveyor on the axis here in the next little bit. The issue you run into with the axis is like you have, I don't know if I can, where am I here? Over here. You have that, and then you have the conveyor going up the side of it. So if you put a really heavy conveyor on that, that way it goes whichever way there. It's a lot of weight off the side of it. It is what happens. So you have to be very, very conscious of that. For the most part, like we kind of designed the conveyor on the axis to load a small truck, a small dump trailer. That was kind of the idea. It wasn't there to be a real crazy production thing. It was there to help somebody load an IBC tow with a truck, a trailer sort of thing, and that's what it does well. So
yeah. This is back to the saw chain. Chris asked Logger John where he gets his.
Yeah, he's running the harvester head, so I'm pretty sure they're not the same size. They're not the 404s. They're bigger.
They'll be three-quarter probably.
Yeah.
Unless it has a top, maybe 404. But he probably still knows where he gets it, though.
Yeah.
Same thing. Stalls, I've heard good things about them as well.
Yeah,
so they're worth checking out. Right here. Get 6 spare chains. Way easier to change the chains than at night you can sharpen. Because do you have a grinder, or do you just use that like little hand grinder?
Yeah, I got a bunch of hand grinders, but I might get a grinder just because if I do a video on it, I know people will watch it and then I can use it.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing I'm finding out when I buy new equipment. I like my Husqvarna, the new 592. I didn't really want to spend the money. It was like $1,200 or $1,300. Well, that video is one of my better videos now, and I think I've already made like $400 in that video. So thanks for helping me pay for my chainsaw.
Yeah, it would do that for you for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was another question too. The oiler on the 22 MB is a gravity fed.
No, it's got a pump on it.
Yeah, I figured as much.
So that little valve that's on there that looks like a little faucet valve for water, that's the adjustment, right? Yep.
Yeah, that sediment valve is what it is. You just in or out, and then what it has on it. If you look upstream from that, Chris, there's a little wee pump that big, and it's a Napa fuel pump.
Okay.
Like it's a $15-$20 electric 12-volt fuel pump from Napa, like very generic, and they seem to last forever. Like they go forever, and I don't know if we've ever changed one. Did you ever do one on your 3000 before, Kev?
No, we only had 300 hours on it, but no, we never had any issues with it.
Like we've hardly ever touched one. It's one of those simple, inexpensive things. It just works for some reason. It works well.
Yeah. Am I in Canada? I sure am in Canada. Yeah, Andrew is also in Canada, and Chris, he's the lone one. He's in Wisconsin.
Yeah, but a lot of people think that Wisconsin is part of Canada. If you're down south, they'll ask you, what part of Canada is that? If you're Minnesota, Wisconsin, they'll actually ask you that, and they're dead serious because they don't know. A lot of people ask me.
Wow, that's crazy.
We seem to have somewhat of a similar accent, I guess.
And all Canadians live in igloos, and we just legalized the VCR 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So Dave said he's currently writing for New Pioneer magazine.
Well, right on.
That's awesome. And this is a good question. Chris, did you ever walk up to any live beavers in traps?
Yes, it happens. We don't want it to happen, but it happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll just get caught, but more, you'll see on the channel, we'll explain it. We have a slide wire where they go down if they're caught in a foothold or leg hold trap. And if they get hung up on a piece of brush, or if they somehow pull it's a 40-pound railroad plate we throw out into the water. So it's like a zip line. They go down. They can't come back up because it's got a stop on it. And if they get down and wound up on a stick or something, they get in shallow water, and then they can pull that weight up if it's a big 50-pound beaver. and they're alive. So I think this year we caught 529 beaver in 3 weeks. I think we had maybe 4 or 5 that were alive. Because you want them to die as fast.
A lot of beavers. That's crazy.
Yes,
a lot of beavers, man.
So, yeah.
Wow. How big of an area?
We run 2 lines. One is about 150 miles that we make up kind of a big loop, and there's a couple stubs off of that, and then the other one's maybe 100-ish miles.
Oh, wow.
And so we run it every other day. We had about 250 traps out, and so we were never checking more than maybe 2/3 of the trap on our long line. And our best day, we had 64 one day, which is really good. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The one lad that a lot of people know, Justin Vance. He's kind of the manager at Eastonmade, and he does a lot of sales. And he's a crapper. He's got his crapper's license. He does a little bit of it here and there, and really enjoys doing it. Yeah,
it's. I'm not much of a turkey hunter because it doesn't pay very good. Number one, and when you get one, you're done. And trapping, it's unlimited, so you just go.
Yeah. And so that's how long is that season? Just winter season, or it's open all?
It opens usually like December 1st, and in northern Wisconsin zone closes. Is it April 1st? Yeah, I think it's April 1st. No, April 31st. April 31st. It goes to May 1st, pretty much. So, And spring they're real easy to catch because there's no ice, obviously, because the ice goes out. What happens is in every colony there's a male and female that kind of own the colony, and as the teenagers grow up, they get kicked out for new babies to be born. So like the 2-year-olds get kicked out, and they have to go find their own place to live. So you get 4 to 6 in every colony that are traveling, trying to find a place every spring.
Yeah,
coming from miles and miles and miles, and they just keep coming. There's spots we set 4 traps, and every day you get 4 beaver every day.
That's crazy.
So, yeah. And Kenny will tell you, he taught me everything I know.
We got Ricky. Chris, I installed a plexiglass on the outside of the cab facing the saw. Easy to clean and cuts down dust and chip to the face.
That's kind of what.
Well, that would be the side of it to put it on. Then for some reason I had a vision on the other side, and that's going to be pain.
Yeah. How big of a piece? I'm thinking maybe just like a 2-foot square or a 3-foot square is all you need, just kind of where you sit. But I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you'd almost make it covering that whole thing. I never took a good look at that front, so. But yeah, you got to keep that dust off you. Trying to find. Savage. So he asked that question about the comments. I had one guy told me never seen someone make an Eastonmade look so slow.
I don't know if I've ever seen anybody run an Eastonmade that's in as good a shape as Brad. Brad's in pretty good shape.
Oh, it's crazy. I've seen the same thing. It's like, oh, that's slow. Like, all right, whatever.
And you get it for some reason. Like, I even had that on the 2040, and I don't know whether the guy was serious or like, that looks slow. Like, that's down and back in like 3 seconds. That's insane. That's like nutty fast. Like,
until you do it yourself, everybody that's ever come and run my ultra, the first time their eyes get big and their hand go back, and it's like they're afraid because when you see it in person, it's different than on video.
It's entirely different. Like that's the big thing. Like, you see one of these machines in person, you kind of get an appreciation for how heavy they are and how fast they are and how fast they actually perform. Like a 1222 an ultra, you can't, like, one guy is not going to run those machines to their potential. You can't.
No, it takes 2 to 3 on no matter what machine you're on yours. They're so fast. You can't feed them fast enough.
Yeah, exactly. Edwin, Andrew, why didn't you put joystick controls on the 22 MB?
Well, 22 MB is 22 manual bar saw, so it's a manual controlled bar saw. So you will likely see a 22 EB coming up here before too long. The issue that we're going to run into with this is the machines are so similar. Like the 22 MB is a 48C. We just don't put the big saw on it. That's literally the only difference. The pump, like almost everything is identical on them. So like from a cost perspective, when we start putting, like we have a guy that ordered an electric power saw, like ordered a joystick controlled power saw. The problem that we're going to run into when we get to that point is the cost of it. Honestly, like the electronic control, like the valves for the electronic setup, all that stuff is just expensive. And like by the time you're said and done, I don't know if you're gonna be $4,000 or $5,000 difference to going from a bar saw to a circular saw in that respect. It might not even be quite that much. It is very, very close when we get into that. Like, you're just buying the big blade and the bigger motor. Might be $5,000.
Yeah, that'd be nice with a joystick, wouldn't it, Chris?
I don't know any difference. So.
It's a lot nicer than the joystick. You'll get on it. Once you get on it, it's pretty intuitive. You figure out wherever it is. I hope I did an all right job of it.
I think it's.
I'll tell you, we drank a lot of beers and scratched a lot of heads to figure out exactly how we were going to lay that out. That it's like in a normal processor, like you don't have the dump tail, you don't have log, you don't have log rollers, like. So there's like a lot of stuff on a normal processor that it doesn't exist, right?
Yeah. Then you got to fiddle that in a valve bank.
Yeah. Because like the valve banks, it's fairly wide in there, right? There's a lot going on in there.
I was looking at that in Chris's video this morning that he posted of it. I think it was this morning, where you went around and you could see like everything going in. Like it's busy in there, but at least it's the accessibility of it was good if you ever had to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a nice thing. Like it is right out in the open there.
Yeah. Jesse, Andrew, can you guys plumb a 37D with an auxiliary hydraulic functions to run a log bucking table that dumps wood off like the one back 40 had on his channel?
Oh yeah, that's no problem at all. Yeah, we do. We like that's the nice thing with the way the Galtech valves are set up is like they're stackable. So like if we have like a double log lift or something like that, like we just put another section in it. I think it's like $400 or $500 for an extra section, and we can just have an extra set of handles or whatever you want to do with it.
That 37D, you actually need a buck saw, not the table, so you can keep up cutting your blocks.
You probably would, yeah.
Yeah. Well, GP is getting ready, going to bed already.
Holy smokes.
Well, good night, Gord. Just for the record, I had a nap before this, so you're not the only one, Gord.
Ed says, digging the new channel, Chris. Gets as many of them critters as you can. Too many butthurt people out there pushing their unwanted opinions. Good, honest, hardworking people. Yeah, I agree on that.
I just always ask whenever I get an anti-whatever person, anti-tree cutting, anti-animal, whatever, I just say, do you eat?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because everything was living at one time. Even if you have vegetables, you're killing it. So be quiet.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
That asparagus had a friend.
Right.
I had some fresh asparagus out of the garden the other day. Oh, man, was it ever good.
We actually have wild asparagus that grows just down the road from us. The ditch is full of it.
Yeah.
Well, you go down there and you just grab mitt, you can fill up a basket full of stuff.
Yeah.
And you just give away a secret, it's going to be gone. All your employees will look at it.
Andrew, when you ship splitters, is your driver able to unload, or will you need a machine to unload it?
Depends on the truck. The Drew's set up to get stuff on and off fairly easily. It's not guaranteed that it's going with Drew though. Because like we have, there's probably 3 or 4 trucks a week in and out of the shop, like with a load of splitters on it. So it's a slight chance that you might get Drew now. It used to be the Drew delivered everything, but it's just too much. There'd be no way that we'd ever be able to get stuff out the door.
He has a real nice ramp, heavy duty ramp. I was able to back my truck right up onto the trailer that, the bed, and then hook it up and pull it off. No problem.
Oh yeah. Like for the processors, he set up great for doing them. And like we try to send a lot of the processors out with Drew.
Yeah.
Just for that reason, because like unloading them and loading them is so convenient to do it that way.
Well, even the splitter we took off, it was no problem at all. I mean, they're not that big and huge and heavy. You're able to back a truck right up on there. If you got a pickup truck, I think it just depends on if it's in the front or the back. That's the issue.
Yeah, that's exactly. And like normally what we'll do is if we're gonna unload like that, we will try and put the machines in the right order for it to work.
The other thing you might want to consider, Andy, is I've done this, especially when I got my Ultra delivered to me. I didn't have it delivered to me because I knew it was going to be coming on a truck that was multi-load. It was coming from other places, so the splitter was on with other stuff. And I had it delivered to a buddy of mine's place that had a loading dock, and he's got a tow motor. And he's not far away, so I just picked it up there. So, and I've done that a couple times with stuff.
Yeah, and that's normally what we try and tell guys. If you do have like if you're getting a splitter into for some reason if you don't have equipment to unload it, like most lumber yards or local places like that are more than willing to work with you and help you out.
If we'll get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how the first processor went out. Same thing. He went to he had a buddy with a loading dock to get it unloaded.
Yeah.
I think.
And then, like for processors and stuff, like sometimes we don't have the opportunity to send it. Like a lot of tractor dealerships, heavy equipment will have a dry dock. That's what we have. We have a dock out back that is the right height for a truck, and we just push the processors on. It takes 2 seconds to do it.
That's how we did when we sold our bells for 1,000. We took it to our local tractor dealership there, and they actually loaded it for us, which was nice of them. They have a tow, like a yard guy, and he just hooked up to it and put it right on the truck for us. Like, perfect, great.
Yeah, they're used to handling heavy equipment.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Tractors are massive, so to them it's like nothing. Yeah,
they no questions asked. They were just, hey, we'll do it. And I'm like, all right, we just stood back and let them load it. So, Andy says you'd probably drop your shipping rate if you found a single stop to distribute for each load. A couple bucks for a dock use beats stop charges and extra miles.
That's something that's been rolling around my head is starting a dealer network. The hard part about that is that a dealer's got to have their cut too, and the other end of it too is representation. Like if they're not dedicated to my product and selling somebody else's stuff or vice versa, they're not dedicated to knowing if somebody calls them up, they don't necessarily know everybody needs to make a wood splitter. Where you give us a call and like Jerry will talk your ear off. He'll tell you the ins and outs of her and everything you ever possibly need to know about an estimate. Jerry will let you know, and he'll take the time to tell you too. So
yeah. Sean, is a circular saw less maintenance sharpening than a chainsaw? Quick answer, yes. Till you hit
metal.
Yeah, like serious metal, like gate hangers and stuff like that is the big stuff. Screws and nails, it will zip through, but yeah, it's less maintenance in the end.
Yeah, it's pretty substantial. Like it really is.
We had 1,000 hours on our, I think 1,000 hours on our 4,000. And we hadn't touched the tips at all. We've replaced the odd one till we hit steel and it wrecked everyone. But then that's when it becomes more maintenance. You don't have a $30 chain that you just pull off and throw in the garbage and put a new one on. You got to change every shank or every tip and shank.
But there's no bar oil either.
No, and no bar oil.
No.
Which I've heard guys that, like high production guys that are running Barca, he was $4,000 a year in oil.
Yeah. All guys that run harvesters, they buy it by the barrel.
Yeah, but that's how we buy our bar oil. It's the only way to get it cheap here. We don't go through that much of it, but we go through enough that we can justify it. Yeah, so glad to learn MB is for manual bar because if it stood for megabytes, and Chris would fill the hard drive in no time.
I'm good at that. I've already filled, what do I have now? 5 external hard drives that are like, I think they're 2 or 4 terabyte drives.
Wow.
That's just for my videos. And then my photography business, we've got, and I can't even tell you, we have 5 or 6 laptops, and then we've got big Apple towers that are just filled, and yeah, I can fill stuff.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's funny when I've started doing quite a bit on TikTok the last couple months, and I think the reason.
Are you dancing?
I'm waiting for that one.
Well, dancing? No, I'm not. You don't want to see this guy dance. I'm a white guy with 2 left feet. You don't want to see that.
Yeah, my wife and kids told me that too. Dad, don't do that. Don't do that.
But it's been a really good platform. But I did that one time. I put a 22 MB up there. That's the way I wrote it, was 22 MB, and I had the voiceover thing where the girl's talking. It's a 22 megabyte firewood processor.
Oh, I actually had another question here for you, Chris. Now, it was actually from our original test video. Let me see if I can find it here. I'll get this one going because Walter says he picks 6 pounds of asparagus each day off 500 feet.
That's a lot of asparagus.
That's
yeah. That's crazy.
A lot of stinky pea.
That's an awful pile of it.
That's what Kevin. That's what I did with 1222, the old John Deere. The neighbor.
That was iffy. That was iffy, Kev. That was. I wasn't sure if the old John Deere was going to do her or not. That was. We almost had to get under the boom and start shoving her up there just to get a wee bit more wind under it. And that's the thing. Like, we have a lot of guys that call and I'll unload it with my tractor. Well, you have a lot of tractor there to do it. Because it's not a compact tractor kind of job. It's a big full size tractor kind of job.
Yeah, just
what does the 1222 weigh?
The 1222 is around 2,400 pounds.
Oh yeah, I couldn't even lift that.
Merch, Andrew.
Yeah, well, we got some right there.
The old
and there
beer cozy.
Jeez, I'm tired. Where's Joe?
I gotta tell you, Andrew, that here it is right here. This hat you sent. I can go the right way. This one. This sucker is warm.
Oh yeah.
That is a good toque.
That's right. It is a toque.
I'm not sharing this one.
It's not a hat. It's a toque.
A toque. Okay, it's a toque.
No, they are really, really warm. It was our local promotion place got them for me. They're awesome.
It was. Are you going to, Chris? Are you going to get a 12-way wedge?
I don't know. What you sent me a 4, a 6, and an 8.
Yeah, and if you need a 12-way to pick up phones,
I
just wasn't sure if you need one for the size of wood that you would normally get. If you get one big enough to actually utilize it and make nice wood on it, but I'm not quite sure.
I don't know. It's possible. I don't know. I haven't run it enough to know. I haven't used the 4 yet, so I imagine that's for pencils.
Yeah.
Or boiler wood.
Oh yeah.
Or big stuff.
Yeah, we could use a four-way. Usually it's just we'll have the 8-way in and just have it up and basically split in half, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, but yeah, it's
yeah, I ran the 8-way mostly so far.
Yeah. And it really depends on the market too. You're trying to get into, or the market that the clientele you have, because like some places like an 8-way wedge is like, oh, that's way too small, and then there's some places where like a 16-way, oh, that stuff's coming out way too big, sort of thing. So it's really hard to say until you get running it and get a feel for what kind of logs you get in and what your clients want.
Well, one of the first batches that I ran the other day when Logger Al was there, we did, I don't know, maybe not quite 3 full cords worth, and I stacked it the other day. I dumped it because I wanted to get the trailer back, and about a third of it was perfect. a third of it was just a little big, but not terrible. And then the other third, I did resplits on it. It was just a little too big to pick up with one hand. And so I just resplit them down. I left some bigger, so it's a mix.
And once you kind of get onto the machine too and kind of have a feel for, because like with the Ultra, you can really, like with a wood splitter, you can really like manipulate the wedge or the block going through the wedge, where the processor, like if you have one that's not quite square, it's going to go up and miss some wings or go to one side or the other. So it's really, once you get onto it, you can make a really, really nice looking wood with it, but it's one of those things that takes a little bit of practice to get there and know which way everything's going to go.
Right. So to answer that question, it was up there a little bit ago, Kev. There was a question about my photography business. Yes, I've had crossover.
That's where I was on. Sorry, we got
okay. Yeah.
We got carried off on the.
I get more people that are photography clients that have ordered firewood than I do firewood people that become, because it's a totally different market, totally different kinds of people, and what I do in photography is pretty specialized. So, but yeah, it crosses over a little bit. But the YouTube channel's been pretty good for the firewood business, because people are finding me through there and calling and ordering wood and vice versa. So. And I picked up YouTube people too. So,
yeah, that's good that it helps. Though, like in your for your business too, right? And Brian, good evening, all. Just wanted to give big thumbs up to Andrew and all the hardworking people at eastonmade. Thank you for your upgrade. It has definitely taken your processor to the top.
It made a big difference. Brian got that controller like what we put in yours, where it. Where the saw will drop when the splitter cracks. We used to have it that it didn't do that. Like you couldn't drop the saw if the splitter wasn't all the way home. And we set it up on the very first machine like that, and it had a larger cylinder on it. So when we went forward, we just didn't have the time to test out and play with it. And then Kevin wanted some more performance out of it. So we sent a couple guys up there to tune it right in and get it dialed in, and the new 48Cs, the new processors, they're not. So they're insanely fast.
Yeah, it's crazy. I love it. I love that. That's an awesome upgrade to it, update, whatever you want to call it. And it does make it a totally different machine. We're putting out identical, if not a touch faster than the 4000 in similar wood, like our normal bush run ash that comes out. Like timing it wise, it's, we're doing our stuff. We can go from 4-inch up to, maybe 12 to 14 inch, and we'll put up a cord, 2 cords in 40 minutes. So you're doing 3 cord an hour basically with it, which is happy. And you can up those numbers by bigger wood. Like we've always talked about on the amounts. It's 4 cord an hour is easy reachable, no problem with that machine with running bigger wood, right?
I hope you get that good. It's right now it's like trying to learn how to ride a bike and juggle and skip and
Yeah, it takes. I was the same way when there's a lot going on, and what's that again? And then once you have all that muscle memory of it, it's just you're automatically just grabbing whatever one of those 30 levers to do what you need to do.
What you should do, Chris, is come over for a beer sometime and watch me try to run Photoshop.
See,
that's a tricky one.
There's shortcuts for everything, Andrew.
Oh my God. It's like even like to put text on a picture. It's like, oh my God, I can't remember how to do this.
Yeah, and if you don't use it every day, you lose it, just like anything else. When I get into my groove when I'm doing photography editing, I don't even think. You just fly. And I use a pen, so I'm using a tablet with a pen, and I can just instinctively know where to put the pen on the tablet and move stuff without even looking. I mean, you get fast.
Yeah,
you just know what to do. So.
I bet you, and like it'll be just like that with the 22 MB. There'll be wood flying off the back of it. Tony will have to be piling at the end of it.
Oh, okay, let's see if I can get him to do
that. Yeah, you have to send him a stick of gum.
Yeah. I can send him that turd back too.
Chris. Now that you have the processor, is Kenny going to ask to permanently borrow the Ultra to his Woodyard?
I took it up there. We used it up there for a while. I think we had some videos just recently where we were using it. So we had it up there a little bit. He's happy with his big slow splitter because he has such monster wood that he gets for almost nothing. And he's got that big table, and his tractor is the loader. So I mean, he's got a lift on it with the tractor, so it works for him. And like he said, he's retired and he's got a buddy that helps for free for beer, and he has a lot of friends that come and help. And so I don't know, he's doing as much as he wants to do. Plus he's slow to change. He likes his things the same. So well, he does like the Ultra. He does like it. So it is fast.
Question: are you going to put more hard standing down to manage the extra wood? I'm not following that question.
Hard surface, maybe?
Maybe that's what you're talking. Yeah, maybe more hard surface.
Yeah, I didn't say hard. I got six truckloads of gravel in that I spread, and I'm getting a couple more to expand the size of the yard. So yeah, I'm fixing it up so it's prettier.
Yeah. Nick, hey guys, I have an Ultra coming any month now. Will a subcompact tractor be able to handle lifting it off a truck? He has a John Deere 1025R.
Well, it probably weighs what, 800 pounds, I'm thinking.
Yeah, you're about 800 pounds for yeah.
Yeah, so you should be able to
look up the spec on it here.
If not, just shove it off the truck.
You'll be right there. I think the lift capacity on it is 750 pounds. You'd be cutting it really, really close to be able to pick it.
Wow. Take the wedge out and
yeah.
Somebody standing on the back. Don't stand on the back. Don't stand on the back. Get
Don't
weights like Chris.
Don't take the plug out to drain the hydraulic oil or nothing like that. Like
So story about standing on the back. Guys north of us running a skid steer, picking up more than the skid steer can lift. So the guy thought it was a good idea to stand on the back to give it extra help, extra weight on the back. But when the machine went forward, went down, came back, and then launched him right over the front, face right into the mass of the forks that were on it. Yeah, never. I see somebody do that, and after that story, I just cringe. Like, never. You wouldn't think it would happen, but it's like, yeah, don't do that, people. Don't do that.
You're not attached in any way.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bad idea. Machines are designed to lift them that certain amount for a reason. And anyway, be safe out there, people. If you think it's a bad idea, it probably is. Jason, he must have missed the lead times for the Ultra. I think you said we were saying
12 to 14 months, and then you likely see it in 7 or 8. We just don't want to promise nothing with the supply chain. So
Brian, he's saying they're running a cord every 15 minutes. He's probably in some nicer wood, and he's humming through it real good.
Yeah. That's the one thing I've never got. This some of the manufacturers are advertising 9 to 10 full cord an hour out of a processor. I don't know what perfect world they live in, but it's one of mine.
Like, it would be saw logs. Like, you're
if
literally
they were like
through
20-inch ash all day, you just you pound it at the back in a hurry. But I don't think it's viable firewood.
Yeah,
But then there's the logistics of everything else that goes along with that. You got sawdust, you got debris, you got to move it somewhere, or you got to move the machine because you're making piles so fast. I mean, there's just so many things to think about.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They're more than just one piece of that. I've heard of guys doing like a tandem, a triaxle log truck in like 2 hours. So that would be like beautiful what's going through, and like no hiccups, no hang-ups. Like in most of the time, that does not exist.
Yeah. That's, you got to be right wood, and everything's got to be perfect, right? The moons have to align, because you couldn't do that steady all day, weeks on end. Like, it's just not viable.
And like you'd have to run the machine hard too. Like, you'd have to physically run the machine hard. Like if you're doing a cord every 15 minutes, you're running it comfortably. Like, that's 15, 20 minutes for a cord of wood. You're running it comfortably. You're not pounding it. You're not beating it. You're being sensible with the machine.
Yeah, for sure. Kevin, he's hitting the hay. He's had enough. I think he's going to hang out in his new shelter that he built.
He's got some pretty cool stuff. Kev's incredibly handy. He's good at an awful lot of things.
Did you see the shelter he built?
No, I've
with the stretch wrap
for a while.
Oh yeah, I've seen other people do that. I haven't seen his, but I've seen other people doing the shrink wrap.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We got Chewy. Hey Andrew, I'm ordering an Ultra. Left a message with Jeremy. I think that was his name. Late Friday. Probably going to pick it up instead of shipping. Chris is the reason I'm buying from you.
Well, there you go. That's awesome.
You're gonna like it.
Yeah, and picking it up, that will save you some shipping costs as well. Chewy, I love the Chewy's firewood. I love that name too. That's awesome. Hey Chris, how are you going to handle the sawdust coming off the new machine?
It's Sir Stanley. How you doing? Yeah, we're going to use some IBC totes, and we talked about this earlier. We're going to cut a hole in it and shoot it right into the IBC totes, into the bladder, and then I'll have some forks so I can pick them up and move them around along with the cookies. That's where I'm going to put all my cookies into IBC totes so that they're movable. And the few guys I sell cookies to that are doing it for boiler wood, I'll be able to just load them up into their trailer when they come, right into the trailer, and they can just bring me the totes back whenever. We'll figure something out. It'll just save me a bunch of steps.
Yeah, for sure. James thought that 1025R might have a height problem too.
Yeah, depending on the trailer, like man, where was Nick? I think he said he had the very next question that he had a back on the back of it.
Yeah,
might have a height problem. I'm not quite sure. Like it's you'd be 48 feet. You'd almost need, depending on the trailer, you might almost need the lift 6 feet like level. In and around there, because like if you have a 48-inch trailer, then you're probably 2 feet off the ground to the bottom of the beam, if not more than that, I would think. You're probably more than that, honestly. You're probably 30, 40 inches, or not 40, maybe 30 inches to the bottom of the beam, probably.
Might be safer just to find someone that's got a loading dock close by and have it delivered.
Yeah, might be the safer way. You don't want to smash it.
Yeah, it's cheaper to buy a case of beer than.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And when we have had guys drop them before, and it's you just you feel absolutely terrible. More often than not, we pay stuff for the guys, but you feel really bad for the guy because he's been so excited waiting this long to get a machine. And he smashes it up the first day. That's something I would do.
Not gonna lie, when we got our 32-foot conveyor, it was delivered to the custom job we were going to do, and the guys unloaded it there, and it slipped off the forks and bent all the hard hydraulic lines going up to the top.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh yeah, it sucked. It's whatever. It's like the only thing that's happened to that conveyor was those bends, and you like stare at it every day.
That's exactly it. It's one of those things that you just can't take your eyes off of. Like, why did I do that?
Yeah. Wait time on the axis.
The same thing. You're 12, 14 months. You end up 7, 8, hopefully.
Yeah. Freaking Jeep processor can only make what a support controller can give it. And that's exactly right. Yeah. And that's what you need. Chris is lucky. You can probably you're running 8-footers, so you can probably stack them up pretty good too once you.
Yeah, I plan on doing in the next week. I'm gonna do a video where I see how much wood I can get done all by myself. So I'll load the deck. I'll have a bunch on the ground in front of it. I'll have a scoop in the tractor, and then I'll run it through, and then I'll tote the tractor trailer away, dump it, and then repeat the process. I'll just see how I can do. I'm sure it'll be faster than cutting it by hand. The nice thing I noticed at the end of the day, the couple times I've run it now, when I get home, I'm not very tired.
you're not completely totally worn out, ready to fall into your supper, right?
No, handling that, especially I got that new the 592 Husqvarna, and it's a bigger saw, and you run that all day, you know it.
Yeah, absolutely. You would definitely know that for sure. And then people that don't run saws don't understand that. Even a bar that's a couple inches longer, if you're in the bush swinging around all day, you know the difference in running it.
Right, and then there's when you're cutting the rounds, you got to do something with them. So you got to chuck them off to the side so you can keep cutting. Because I like to do every process, one time. I like to do all the cutting in a pile, and then do all the splitting, and then do all the stacking because it's just faster. Everybody says, and I've tried it. Why don't you cut a little, split a little, stack a little? Well, because it's not very productive. It takes forever.
Yeah, for sure. That's the way I did. I'd want to block up a whole log truck load, and then let's split it all. Do it all at once.
Yeah. The only bad thing is in the wintertime, if you cut a whole truckload and then you get a foot of snow, that sucks.
Wow, yeah.
You kind of want to do a half a truckload at most. Whatever you can kind of watch the weather. And if you're going to get dumped on with snow, get it taken care of.
Yeah. Honda, what's the max speed you can tow a machine on the highway?
Depending on the machine, for the most part, you can tow them at highway speeds pretty comfortably. You don't want to go down with one of the solid axle splitters like the Ultra or like a 1232 2020. You don't want to be going down a back road at 65, 70 mile an hour. But as long as you're conscious of it being behind you, there's no issue pulling them at all.
Yeah.
I took mine up to my brother's. It's 3.5 hours away. I just put it in my pickup. It was just easier than towing it, even though it would have bounced around a lot. It probably not started when I got there because it would have been shook up so much.
Yeah.
It was easier just to put it in the truck.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess something all of the splitters will fit inside, and I guess the axis be the only exception. All the splitters will fit inside an 8-foot bed.
Wow.
Pickup bed.
But it's easier to put it in a trailer because your trailer, your deck is lower. You can roll it up.
It would be far easier to do that.
Trailer is the easiest way to do it.
Yeah. We've done it for guys before. I had one guy come up from Massachusetts. He came all the way up from Massachusetts, and he was driving a Dodge half-ton with the air suspension in the back of it. And we set a 22-28 in the back of a half-ton.
Flattened it.
Oh my God! I don't know how he made it home. I can almost guarantee he was going to go to the Dodge dealer after that to get those airbags fixed. It had an awful squat on that thing. Literally weighs 2,600 pounds. It's just a beast of a machine. He made it home though. I think he really likes the machine too, so that's good.
He sold the truck the next day.
Yeah, that's enough truck for that.
Yeah.
I had one guy come and pick up he bought 2 machines from me. He lived in Windsor, so he's about 7 hours from me. He came and picked up the splitters with his Prius.
No.
You can't even make that up.
They're not supposed to tow anything.
They tow an eastonmade just fine, apparently. Yeah. The eastonmade would outweigh the Prius by 600 or 700 pounds. They don't know how the brakes would work, but he picked them up with his Prius.
Wait, was he asking if it came with trailer brakes on it?
No. I don't know. I don't know if you could get the trailer brake set up for the Prius. I'm just not sure if Kurt or one of those companies makes a setup for the Prius yet that you just plug in.
Yeah, maybe. Back River Firewood. Kev, sorry to ask again. Where do you order your bags from? Uline wants too much money per bag. We get ours from Bag Supply Canada. I can't think of her name there. Anyway, just tell her I sent you over, and hopefully she helps you out a little bit there. But that's where we get our bags from. They are having such a tough time, like everything, getting supplies in, and people are just buying bulk. It's basically how you get that price down, is buying bulk.
Yeah.
We've gone in with a buddy of ours, and he buys 50,000 at a time. So that's how we keep it. It's the only way to get the cost per bag down.
Yeah.
It's the only way. So
I have buddies that do maple syrup, and they just bought bulk glass for putting their maple syrup in, and they bought it before all the prices started going up, and they were thinking of selling their glass to other suppliers because the price has gone up by like 3 times, and they could have made almost more money on the glass, the bottles, than the maple syrup. The consumers don't understand how this is all working. You shut the world down for a couple of years, it's going to have a lot of effects.
Yeah, and it's looking like it's just going to keep on going.
Yeah. The thing is, before this happened, before everything got nuts, it was by demand only. I mean, it was in-time supply. And now there is no in-time supply because everything was shut down. So there's no backlog of anything where they can, keep you stuff. I'm sure Andrew could tell you stories about that forever, about how you can't get stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And I think we're just gonna start running into that again.
Yeah.
How much time do you guys have? We can go for a long time with this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, parts for anything. If you got wear parts on anything, order them so you have them in stock. Like, you can't. The one pickup, 2013 Dodge, been in the shop for almost a month. Luckily enough, we got 2 trucks.
Wow.
We're all right in that situation. So now 2 trucks, 2 skid steers, 2, you got to double up on everything. I asked, well, where's the other processor? But that hasn't come yet.
No, it's nuts. And it's the stuff like everything comes out of China. And like if China shut down, they are like Shanghai, like Briggs motors, the Vanguard motors are made there, and like trying to get containers, it's just completely and totally chaos, insane. Just trying to, and like we've tried to be proactive and order stuff like a long time, like a year ago, really.
Yeah.
And like planning stuff is nearly impossible.
Are your customers getting more understanding because it's everywhere? Finally, are they starting to say, "I understand," or are they just say, "I want it now"?
It's probably worse, honestly.
They're getting more.
Well, it's funny too because you have people that are understanding. That are like, oh well, you know what? Like I trying to get anything, or I'm in business of supply, I do supply chain stuff or whatever. Then you have some people that are just. It's like, how did you wake up this morning and be like that? Like, did you just? I don't know. It's crazy.
There are a lot of people that don't pay attention to it, because they do their job and that's all they see, and they have their personal activities and that's all they see, and they don't realize that there's a lot of crap going on.
Oh, there's a lot going on. It's hard to get your hands on anything right now. Like it is tricky. And like normally, like I said, like it was we didn't have too many issues, because like I said, we have a lot of different suppliers for stuff, and I've tried to maintain relationships with just about everybody that we've dealt with, but it's tricky to get stuff. It really is.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes now. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, the thing is, you can't do much about it.
No, it's you try.
You just gotta hold on for the ride. Is all you gotta do with it. Like it's.
I heard a good story from a guy. He had to go buy some specialty bulb for a car he was restoring, and the price, because he had bought one apparently before, and it was like an $8 bulb, and the price went up to like $20 or something. He says, $20. He says, holy smokes. The guy says, okay. He put it back on the shelf. He says, you go make your own.
That's exactly it.
Okay, I get it. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's basically how it is, though. It's you take it or leave it, right?
Yeah, and it's like that with just about everything. Like even with like the shipping companies and stuff, and like you're kind of at the mercy of everybody right now.
Yeah. I think James, I went by it here. James, he says quarter of old cargo ships are sitting off the coast of China. That's right, and China's been shut down, so they're just starting to open back up again, and that's probably why.
Yeah. Yeah, and even like the port of Vancouver is the crane operators are on strike. Like the crane operators in Vancouver were on strike. Like, is your life that bad? You got to go on strike. You're probably overpaid and overcompensated already, and you need to go on strike.
But they know they have the power to go on strike, right? Give us what we want. They have the power to go on strike. Unfortunately, I don't agree with it, but
yeah.
Oh, I think it's completely and totally insane. They're probably making $65 an hour, the full benefits and a big pension and every other damn thing. And
yeah,
I said if the truckers could all get together, they could rule the world. They could control everything. The truckers, if they wanted to, if they could get together, they can control everything.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a like that thing down in Ottawa here. It was a threw a stick into things pretty bad. And I even CN like the railroad had a strike here maybe 2.5 months ago. I think they only strike for like 2 days maybe. It was very very minimal. Like you want to talk about something throw a stick into things like 2 days, like almost no time at all, and just back everything up so far. And I don't understand it either because like the people. I can, and they're all making good money too, and I don't get it either. I just don't understand it.
Always want more.
Yeah, I don't. People have a hard time being content. I think that's the problem. They have a hard time being content and just happy.
Well, when I'm not content, I just work harder.
Well, yeah, that's exactly it. And you feel better.
Yeah.
Some fresh air, and there you go.
Yeah, we got Joe's helper here, Zach. What's up, Zach?
Cowboys in here. Thanks for coming out,
Zach. What do we got?
Sure.
So Sean, about supply chains, he's a buyer for a food manufacturer. Normally I secure sugar for the next year around August.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's doing that earlier now.
Yeah, probably would be. Yeah.
I found out this week that that one of the major sugar mills in the U.S. is already sold out for 2023. These supply issues will not ease up.
It's crazy. It's completely and totally not. It's like
as the word spreads from industry to industry, or even just product to product for anything, people are going to do the same old thing they did with toilet paper when last year happened. They're going to start hoarding. People will just start piling up more and more and more, and that just fuels the whole thing.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. It's you kind of, in a way, if you want to run a business, you almost have to, right? But how much is that affecting real life? It's the toilet paper and the what else did they hoard? Toilet paper and
I can't even remember.
Pretty much everything. Food.
And it's one of those things that it's just really it's just really hard to deal with. It seems to be the simplest, stupidest stuff that's hard to get. Like for us, that's what it is. Like it's just stuff that you wouldn't normally put like a blanket purchase order on. Like that it's just readily available. You can't get it.
Yeah.
And then one little piece just holds the whole thing up, right? So.
Shirt. I've been trying to buy shirts for work.
Yeah.
Like just like the sleeveless ones I wear. Yeah. Can't get them. 2 years in a row, can't get them.
Yeah, it's just insane. Like just simple, stupid stuff. You just can't get your hands on it.
Well, unless I was a medium or a 3XL, but I'm not neither of those. So.
Well, if they're anything like my shirts, you throw out 3XL in the dryer and there's like 3 or 4 sizes on you. Starts to show more of my physique.
Is that Stacy I hear laughing in the background too?
No, I don't know if she's still up or not. She'll be having a good chuckle if she is. She says he likes my physique.
Soft and squishy.
Soft, just around the midsection though. Everything else is scrawny and bony.
We're the freaking Jeep. Hi there. Are you guys going to be at the Paul Bunyan show? I will.
I'm going to try to be.
Maybe.
Chris? Well, hopefully you make it, Chris. I'd like to meet you in person.
I'd like to meet a lot of people out towards the east there. it's a hard time of year for me. That's when I've got everything going wide open that time of year. It's tough.
Do you ever deliver firewood around that time of year at all, Chris?
Oh yeah. Yeah. A lot of photography, a lot of firewood, YouTube, family stuff. It's just nuts.
There'd be a lot happening for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the big reasons why I've never got into selling firewood myself is firewood season interrupts deer hunting season.
Yeah, you got to have your priorities.
Oh, absolutely.
Are you a passionate deer hunter, or is it just a fun thing? Or
I hunt quite a bit. I hunt. Bow season starts 1st of October and goes right to the New Year. I'm out a couple of times a week normally.
Yeah, I'd rather hunt than breathe. So.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I've got into it more the last couple of years that I've taken the time to go and do it. I never did a whole lot of it before because all I did was work, right? So the last couple of years I've got into it a little bit more, and I've really enjoyed bow hunting a lot. Like we went up quite a bit last year.
No phones, no people.
Yep, that's exactly. You just sit out there by yourself and just relax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm more sitting in the boat fishing. That's my relaxed time.
Yeah, that opened up today here actually.
What pickerel?
Pickerel and pike, yeah.
Pickerel and pike. Really? It was today? I thought. Were you second weekend, second Saturday?
What is it? I think it's normally another week from now, but it was a little bit early this year, so. For us, anyways, and it depends on what unit you're into, right? So
yeah, I guess hand sanitizer was the other one, which is right.
Oh yes, that's right. Yep.
Personal care items.
Yeah, Bruce, toilet paper. I get that in the mail every day. We got Facebook comments, so we know it's working. Kev, it's time to cut the sleeves off the old Sunday church shirts. Say do that, but I don't have any of those. James, Chris, you mentioned you turned down 80% of old sponsorships. Have Still and Miller Lite offered you to sponsor you? Send them to Shibe.
They haven't offered me any sponsorship, and I really haven't got much for sponsors. It's just the stuff they send you that they want you to try out, and you're supposed to do a video of stuff that has nothing to do with firewood at all.
So I wrote this question down for tonight, and if you don't want to answer it, you don't have to. But what's the weirdest thing you think that you've been offered to show, or they want you to showcase in a video, or some of the funnier ones, I guess?
How do I say this nicely? I guess one of the other firewood channels that's a big one. That's all I'm going to say. Had electric bikes and they were using them, and that same company offered to send them to me to use for riding around in the Woodard. And I thought, why would I do that? I couldn't put it together. But I can't stand it when I watch anybody else's videos and they're trying to sell me something that I don't need and something that has nothing to do with why I'm there. I don't like that. So
think of all the cool jumps you could hit with them. You gotta look at the bright side here. You know what? You know, fun it'd be to hit a jump on an electric bicycle.
Could ride in, and I don't know. Just weird stuff.
I'm just waiting for Segway to come and see me for getting Segways for air on the shop. Like that's really what I'm looking forward to. So
that'd be handy.
Yeah. I get a lot of stuff from China that they see because I have a chainsaw, so they sell carburetors for chainsaws, repair kits. I'm not a guy that's going to rebuild my chainsaws. Like, I can do little things, the basic stuff. But if it's something like that, I don't have the time. I'm taking it to the shop to say, fix this. I'm not a guy that's going to restore something. If it's broke, I'm getting a new one.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had the same thing. It's China stuff, and it's like, why would I want? I'm not going to put something on my channel that I wouldn't use myself, right?
I did just get a company. They sent me. It's called HiSea, HISEA. They make work boots. They sent me 2 boots. Very nice boots.
Nice.
So I did a video on them just the other day. So I'm going to get a hold of them and say, send me more.
Yeah, I was thinking Pete's the boss's brother. He's got I forget the brand that sponsors him, or they help him out, whatever. But they seem decent. There are so many boot manufacturers out there; it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of them.
Yeah. Chris, how long does it take to build up that Adonis physique that Chris has?
I'm lucky that I have good genes. I eat like a pig. I eat everything. I'm just lucky, and I like to work. So I guess that's it. I just work. I don't know. I'm chubby now compared to what I used to be.
I sat in my office chair for like 2 months. And we're working this winter. I put on 25 pounds.
Holy cow. Well, since I bought my tractor, I think I've gained 5, which is for me at the bunch.
I think I'm pretty well up my limit here now. I think I'm pretty well capped. I built a lot like my dad. Now that's about the limit. So
you hope.
I hope. That's what we hope.
Freaking Jeep! If you dropped your rifle here and it went off, you would hit a deer. 40 in the front yard the other 40 in the front yard the other day. Holy cow!
That's a lot of deer.
When I was visiting friends in Pennsylvania, they're where are they near Clarion? I couldn't believe the deer down there. I'm like, they were just everywhere. They didn't care. It was crazy. We got Sean. Cheers. Thank you. Good night. Glad you could show up, and thanks for the beer money. I appreciate it. There was another question for you here, Chris. Where did it go? E-bike. That'd be a handy e-bike. I know exactly who you're talking about, too. That's
the Garney one. Forget the e-bike. There's the large e-scooters, 2-wheel drive, 50 to 60 miles an hour. You can squeal both tires from a dead start with a 50-mile range. That sounds like fun.
They're 2-wheel drive even?
Yeah.
And you didn't take one?
Well, no, he says forget the e-bikes. These are e-scooters.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I've seen videos they do in cities of people riding those around, and they show all their spills, where they go head first into the curb. And
oh yeah,
that would be me. I laid up for 3 weeks because of one e-scooter accident.
I was on a trip in Mexico, and we were going to catch the local bus out at the main road to run into Playa del Carmen. 2 people on scooters, rentals, like whatever, tourists, and one laid one of them down. Like, that's gotta suck. They're gonna ding you for everything on that.
For a little bit.
Yeah, they'll ding you for everything on your visa there for sure.
You're buying it.
David actually could you use that e-bike to move your Ultra around?
Possible, yeah.
Put some mud tires on it. James, too, with fuel prices, you could ride the e-bike over to your neighbors to see if they have any pallets.
Yeah. I'm sure they're going to come up with a lot of good ideas. Maybe I should just go back to that email and say, send me one.
Toomey Trails, just want to say.
And I'll the cat's in the bag. You got to send 3 just to 3 different addresses.
Yeah. I'd run it out to the yard. That'd be handy. Leave my truck at home.
There's Dana. You're going.
Just want to say you guys are a hoot. I think eastonmade equipment is very well built, and you can quote me. Well, I agree with you on that. 100%.
Very much appreciated.
Chris, do you like that little saw yet? I haven't cut anything with it. It's my wife's saw. She gets to use it now.
Has she tested it out yet?
No, she just saw it the other day and said, "Hey, I could cut bushes at home with that." I said, "It's all yours."
So you haven't done a side-by-side comparison with the 592 yet?
I could. That's a good idea. See, I don't think about videos because there's a lot of guys that do, a lot of comparison stuff or play with the tools and talk about it. I'm there to get work done. I don't have time to play so much. I mean, I'm trying to produce firewood, and I'm trying to produce videos, and it's hard.
It takes a lot of time to do videos like that. Like, I know every time I try to like a comparison video, or it's a lot of setup to do that. It takes time. It's consuming.
And guys want to know all the statistics. They want to know the size, the weight, the horsepower, the voltage. They want to know all that. If you don't say it in a video and present it in a certain way, you're going to be answering questions forever. And it's interesting, but it's not me.
Yeah, you're right. When I did that side by side with the 4000 and the 48, it was like I was bashing the 4000, which I was not.
Oh yeah,
I'm just showing you the difference. It's the same, like the speed between them. We had a 4000. They're a good machine.
A big part of the reason I watch YouTube is to learn. And I kind of want to be more of a channel that's going to show the truth and learn about, the ins and the outs and what I like and don't like, and be honest with people, because that's what I want to see. I want to know. If there's warts, I want to see them. If there's something that's way better than everybody else's, I want to know. So that's kind of, and if you're busy making product, you don't have time to go over the things you're using to make the product. I mean, it's a different thing.
Yeah. Brad says, with fuel prices going crazy and not showing any sign of going down, just under $10 a gallon here in Canada, have you ever looked at Easton-made processors with electric motors, or is the option already?
Yeah, we can put an electric motor on just about anything you want now.
Yeah. Oh, where was the other one? Well, Nuke, YouTube has enough commercials, and now sponsors are having what were good channels presenting infomercials. It turns me off.
Me too.
And I get to defend this a little bit because it does bother me as well. And I watch some channels that have it. I fast forward through them all. These channels have become these people's full-time jobs on some of them that I watch. So anything to make income for them, this is what they're doing, right? So you got to keep that in mind.
There's that fine line. You got to know when you got to say stop or do it the right amount. I mean, you can't. There's some hunting shows I watch. It's literally an ad the whole time. It goes from an actual ad to them talking about a product, start trying to sell it, to an actual in the video ad to another ad, and then you watch a 20-minute video and it's 15 minutes of basically ads. I don't want to see that. I want to see stuff get shot.
Yeah, exactly. It's some of them. Do I need this hair club for men? Well, maybe, or I can just live with it and I don't care.
Hey,
you know what I mean? It's
how old are you now, Kev?
Me, 42.
Well, here's what 60 looks like.
Yeah, and I'm. You know what? I am fine with that. I'll take it down to the wood. I don't care.
Well, I got to get some Miracle Grow here.
Yeah, well, you're fine though. It's not white at least yet.
No, there's not too much.
Slowly, the white's coming.
I've got lots of it up there, so I'm good to go.
Mark, is Easton-made gonna make a firewood bundler?
Probably not. It's hard to do stuff like that with the scope of work that we do. It's just really tricky to work something like that in and do a good job of it and be competitive on it. So, yeah,
I can see where people want it though because they're brand loyal and they know you would make it right.
Yeah, and I don't know if Jeff's on here. If Jeff Ormison's on here. He's painted everything he owns orange and blue, and he posts the pictures up on Facebook, and we end up getting phone calls looking for this stuff. Oh no, you built it for sure. I seen it. No, Jeff just painted it that way. He did a nice job of it.
He's actually not on tonight. He messaged me. He's gonna miss it. Yeah, he had a baseball game.
Too bad. He's awesome.
So.
Is that the guy that painted all of his hand tools?
Yeah.
Everything's orange and blue. Everything's orange and blue. He's such a super nice guy, dude. Him and his wife, Patricia, just super awesome people.
I'm usually always talking back and forth to him, and it's always taking pictures of whatever's on the smoker and sending it back.
Yeah, I would believe that.
Yeah.
An electric unicycle. How is that possible?
Yeah. That thing flies.
60 kilometers an hour on a unicycle.
Wow.
Those are nuts.
Is that
is
right?
nuts. I guess. I don't...
That guy's got to have balls the size of grapefruit. That's insane.
Maybe he has none. Maybe that's why he can ride a unicycle.
You never know. That's impressive.
All right, Chris, is Ken going to show at the Woodyard and work a full day now that the processor's there?
Yeah, he'll probably come down for a couple days pretty soon. He got his old job in his woodyard he used to work. They had all their wood brought in to the yard. I don't know if you guys ever saw that. He worked in a area where they was a receiving area for a woodyard for paper mill. And he ran their big machines for loading and unloading box cars, trains, and trucks and stuff. And the company sold they didn't sell it. I think they're leasing out the property, but they still have the machines there. And he's the only guy who knows how to run and take care of everything. So they offered him a contract to come work for like a few months. And so he's been doing that.
No one needs a firewood bundler built out of I-beams.
We don't know that. It's possible.
Living the dream. Thanks, Skitter Kev, Andrew, and Chris. Well, you're welcome. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it.
Appreciate taking the time here tonight.
Yeah. That little chainsaw you got the other day would be good with Kenny's little tractor. Which I could see if you got a tractor in the woods and you're going through, you can cut all those limbs that whip you in the face.
Yeah.
That would be handy.
Might be.
I think it may be handy under certain circumstances, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like if you were a carpenter.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Jason, you need a Kubota sponsorship before you can get the e-bikes.
I think Kubota makes great stuff. That was my first tractor I wanted to get. That's where I wanted to go. And I tried that treadle pedal out and it's like, this is just weird. And I don't know. They make good stuff. I wanted the Kubota. That's what I wanted.
That's actually one of the big selling features why I bought the L6060, because the MX has a different pedal in it and the floor has a big hump in it.
Oh.
So like I found it, like I thought, like, you know what, if I'm going to run this all the time, that's going to be really awkward to get used to. And that's one of the reasons why I went up one. And I was going to buy a John Deere. I was going to buy a 466R John Deere. And like I went to the Kubota dealership. I know the guys well, and they said I'm just going to go stuff over to John Deere. I was driving to the John Deere dealership. Like I'm gonna buy the 466. That's what I really want. I went over there and I went and I looked at it and how it was put together and excited. I'm like, no, I can't do it. The Kubota is that much more direct, right? Just.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing about the John Deere, and I know the people that are green are going to hate me for saying this, but when you buy the John Deere, you got to buy the John Deere implements pretty much, and the attachments, and then the maintenance. I've talked to farmers about the tractors, and they hate the fact they can't do their own work now because everything is computerized, and you got to go through their software, and they're forcing you to go to the dealership. And a lot of farmers don't like that.
Yeah, and that was a big thing was all the attachments and the implements and stuff for it. And like the snowblower, I bought the front mount blower for the Kubota, which was fairly expensive. It was an $8,000 option, but it was like for what I'm doing for like blowing, like when we were set up here at home, like I couldn't have snow in the yard. I had to have it away, like it just didn't have enough room, right? And the for the 466R, it was $21,000 or $20,000 for the front mount blower for it. It was just crazy expensive, like insane.
That's a big difference.
Oh, it was nuts. And like it just, and the tractor just wasn't as good. Besides, the only thing that really, the only other thing that they think the John Deere had going for it was the paint. and not the fact that it's green and yellow, but the fact that it doesn't fade. Like,
yeah,
the John Deere's a lot better paint job. The panels on, like the plastic panels on, which a lot of guys won't like, but you don't put a dent in the plastic panel.
No.
And they're known to not fade. You look at a John Deere tractor that's 30 years old and it looks like a brand new tractor still.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
We're like a Kubota. You see a 30-year-old Kubota, it looks like a 30-year-old Kubota.
Yeah, I don't know what's with their paint, but it fades
They
bad.
fade bad and they scratch bad and ding bad. And...
Chris, how do you like the big eastonmade splitter?
I like it just fine. I need to use it a lot more, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks, you're just saying that.
No. Yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah, when you sent me that first text, if you watched that video this morning, I talked about it all. It was the morning of my mom's funeral, actually, when you sent me that text. So it was like one of the worst days, one of the best days, worst days at the same time. It was like, and I showed my brother, and he was like, "Holy crap!" He said, "This makes it a better day."
Well, the Lord works in mysterious ways, doesn't he?
Exactly. Yeah. So it was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Well, Andy says, tell him to send the bike. If you don't like it, you can use it as a channel giveaway.
I could do that too, yeah.
Which actually is, if you do try stuff, you just give it away. Yeah. Everyone likes giveaways, right?
I've given away a lot of stuff already. Just things people just send me, and I got a what the heck you call it? Pickaroon.
Yeah.
And I had other kinds of pickaroons, but this one was basically an axe that was ground down to a point. So the head on it must have weighed, I don't know, 6 pounds. And the handle was plastic. And I showed it to Tony, and Tony says, "Well, this is a piece of crap." He says, "You're not going to talk about this, are you?" I said, "No, I think I'm going to give it to Kenny."
Oh, wow.
Well, I really hope there's not a processor coming up for a giveaway.
No, that's part of well, there's two. People ask me, what's the best thing about having a YouTube channel? Number one is I got to meet so many nice people. I've made so many new friends. It's just incredible. Yeah. And then obviously getting the processor, and then the other great thing is to be able to go on that elk hunt I went on last year. That was just amazing. So,
well, that would be awesome. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Freaking Jeep. Well, I guess eastonmade will have to come out with a solar powered splitter to use the e-bike to go to. Environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
It's all well, there you go.
The firewood doctor. Since I placed the order on the new log splitter, the time I've spent on YouTube has gone way down as I'm not researching log splitters anymore. Yeah, while you're searching, you probably have your channels that you watch now, and that's where you stick to once you're done that research. Do you ever get in all your beaver stuff? Do you ever get anybody talking about Post 10?
What's Post 10?
You ever seen that name come up, Post 10? He's a big YouTuber, and all he does is remove like beaver dams and blockages of culverts and stuff like that. Cool. Out in Maine, like every time. Post 10 would have done that with no equipment. Post 10 would have done this. Post 10 would have done that. I'm like, all right, well, that's great.
That dam removal you did, that was one of your highest viewed videos, wasn't it?
Yeah. All my beaver dam videos I've done very well. Yeah, it's crazy. Which it blew my mind when I posted my first one. I'm like, how did that happen?
I'm telling you guys, a pack of wieners and some raccoons they got made.
You go to Wayne's, it will happen. He's got his pet raccoons there.
So they laugh every time I see it. That guy's kicking ass.
When he first told me about it, I thought he was joking, and I kind of laughed about it. We had a private message about it, and then he told me, "Oh yeah, that's what happens." I'm like, "Oh wow." John, Andrew, would you ever do or give advice on modifying other brands of splitters? I have a rugged made and would like to change the Galtech auto cycle. Would love to know would love to know how you'd mod one.
You could definitely do it, but like honestly, for me to sell you that auto cycle valve, it's almost the price that rugged made. It's the substantial valve. It's fairly expensive to buy. Like I think they retail like the maybe I don't know if there'd be that many times we've ever sold one to somebody, and if it's somebody that I've known, you're gonna be up around $1,800-$1,900 for one, $2,000 almost. Time I sell you one, like they're fairly expensive. It wouldn't be worth doing it on something like that.
Videos by Al. When is 3-phase coming to Skittercab? Well, we don't have 3-phase on a road, so that's not going to happen. So, yeah, that's power is still on the fence when that's going to happen in the yard. But you could run a converter to get it to 3-phase, right?
Yeah, you need a hell of a converter for it. Big
yeah,
one.
it's not. We can't get it where we are in our area.
I think they're on a 75 amp converter in the old shop, like here at the house. I was 200 amps to run a 75 horse 3-phase converter. So you'd need almost 400 amps. I bet you did to run a processor like that. You'd be into some juice then.
Oh yeah,
and that's not free either. Everybody thinks, oh, electricity's free. No, it's not.
No.
Oh, it's not free in Ontario. No. I'll tell you that for sure.
Chris, are you going to buy a bigger truck to haul that processor to Kenny's and your brother's Tony's?
Well,
if so, what brand are you going to do you want to sponsor you?
I don't. I'm non-denominational. I've had Chevys. I've had Fords. I have my Toyota now. I've never had a Dodge yet. I know several guys that have big trucks, but that's a question that I actually need to ask Andrew. Does that thing have to stay in my yard or can it travel?
Oh, it can go wherever you want to take it.
Well, I wanted to be sure. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I was okay with that because there's a couple people that I could go process wood for and do real cool.
No. You may as well go and have as much fun with it as you can. Like, and I think you have a Tundra, so like a Tundra is going to be like a 3/4 ton Toyota. Is that right?
No, it's a half ton. No, I can't do that. No, but I've got several guys I know that have 1 tons that would tow it no problem. So
yeah, like you wouldn't pull it with half. Like, did he pull it home with your truck?
No, we came to my business. I just pulled it off of the.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I could have gone down the road a mile or something. It was bottomed right out. I mean, the tongue weight's got to be 15,000 pounds.
Oh, it's a lot. Like they're a heavy machine. Like if you're gonna pull it with something, you got to have like I have my 3/4 ton Dodge, and it's a lot on. I have my dually GM, and it wasn't so bad with it, but
yeah,
you need a good chunk of a truck to pull it.
Yeah, I got to have a real truck.
Yeah,
and all trucks are nice. No, everybody makes good vehicles, and they have to be competitive.
Yeah. I don't think it matters which one you buy. They're all the same as long as it's a Dodge.
Well, going on your bald head, Chris, I'm 47. I have a full head of hair. My mother's dad still had a full head of hair when he passed away at 82. Now, my dad, bald as a baby's bottom for probably 20 years now.
Well, I think I can beat your dad. I've been bald since I was about 26. So
yeah.
What is that, 30-some years?
I knew a guy the same. He went like same as you. He was young in his 20s and he was right bald.
Yeah.
Well, it's just whatever.
I've been pretty fortunate. Both my grandfathers full head of hair, and Norm's 97 now. So,
oh jeez,
wow. Dad's the same. Dad's got a full head of hair.
My grandpa was bald too, and he said when I was starting to lose my hair, he says, "Hey, Chris, don't worry about it." He said, "There's worse things to lose than hair," because he lost an eye. He says, "Try losing one of these." He said, "It hurts a little bit more." So,
I'm pretty lucky. Dad didn't even start turning gray until about 3, maybe 4 years ago. And he's 60. He's 62 now. He just the last couple of years he started to turn gray a wee bit.
First YouTube channel I subscribed to was Fall Line Ridge. He could use a real log splitter. His channel led me to the Morgans, which led me to Hometown Acres and the access to the Woodyard. Well, there you go. It's amazing how that happens to lead where you find other channels.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, so you can go down the rabbit hole real quick.
No matter what you're into, there's rabbit holes. You get stuck.
If you haven't been down a rabbit hole on YouTube, it must be your first time on YouTube.
Yeah. Nobody watches TV anymore. I don't. I don't watch sports. I don't watch TV. I don't watch anything. I go to YouTube. Usually it's because I want to know something, learn something, figure something out.
Yeah.
Or somebody told me something interesting I need to check out. I go to YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same
I don't
thing.
know last time I watched television, and if it is, it's always the Big Bang Theory for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. There's always a marathon on.
Could it be the blonde?
It may be. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. She looks a lot like Stacy, so I should be all right.
Oh, wow. Derek, someone's got to do a torture test on every single piece of eastonmade equipment and post it to YouTube. Let's show the world what eastonmade is made out of.
I do a torture test every day when I use the Ultra. I just push that thing as hard as I can, and it just goes. The only thing I broke was the lever. That was it.
I don't think you're gonna find too many people that are harder on a piece of equipment than me at all.
I noticed the big thing that's one of the things that drew me to your products, and I was talking with Tony, the same thing, is the quality of materials you use, the thickness, the welds. I mean, everything is like way overbuilt, and that's why people want them, and it's why they hold their value so well, because you can't break them.
No, it takes an awful lot. Like, we've had a handful of instances where guys have been able to like screw them up, and like in most instances where that's happened, if the guy just calls and says, "Hey, you know what? I screwed up," and like we're more than happy to help them out. Like more often than not. So if somebody calls screaming and yelling that the machine's a piece of junk and that I bent and twisted this and it wasn't their fault at all, then it's a different conversation. But if somebody calls and says, you know what, I broke this, it's like, right on. We'll fix you up. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's, it's never fun breaking something, but you got to stay calm about it.
Oh, yeah.
There's no point freaking out. Zach, Chris, and Skitter Kev, I'm jealous of you guys get to run those big processors. Didn't start there.
No. Come on over. You can try to learn the levers.
Good question. What's the tongue weight on Chris's processor?
Honestly, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. I'm going to say...
well, it's 15,000 pounds total. It's got to be...
Yeah, I'm going to say right around 4,000 or 5,000 pounds.
I would believe that.
Yeah, you'd be around there. You were about 20%.
Yeah. They're not light on the tongue, that's for sure.
No, it's heavy.
With gas, diesel, electric, we're just screwed. And yeah, kind of. Jesus says the Lord only made a few perfect heads. For the rest of them, he added hair.
Yep.
There's another one up here. Where was it? I can't find it now. We'll just keep going. I agree. I was a Forded man, and I still like the forwards.
Ford man.
Force. Yeah, I was a Ford man, but I have a Dodge half-ton plow truck, and it pushes snow. I can't complain about it at all. Yeah, we push with we're happy with the Dodges. I'm a Chev guy, GM guy, whatever you want to call it. And the boss runs Dodges, and I prefer the interior of a Chev, but the Dodges they're good trucks. I have no complaints about it.
The interior on the new Dodges my dad's got a new Dodge, and it is nice inside. And
the new ones, are nice.
It's too nice.
Yeah. When I was looking for my truck a few years, so I was looking at the used one. So back to like 2013, that style interior of the Dodges I was a fan of. The newer interiors, that's totally different though. They are nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They've got like a massive screen on them now too, apparently.
Yeah, like the screen of my truck says, I don't know, it's got to be 8 by 11, if not more.
Yeah. James, he somehow got onto Andrew Camara. I want to say Camara, but that's not right. Camerata.
Yeah.
Okay. A few weeks ago, first video was 3 hours long, then an hour. Holy cow!
You know who the Andrew is, don't you?
Yeah. I don't follow his stuff, but I do know who he is. Yeah, big in the dirt world.
Yeah, He's got good stuff.
Yeah, he does a good job with them.
Yeah.
I've
This
only
Chris
watched
needs
a
to be
couple of his
sponsored by a
videos.
glove manufacturer
Yeah, as long
and
as
GP Outdoors.
yeah, as long as it's got Kinkos, I'll take it. I like their gloves.
It's gloves are firewood is tough on gloves. That's
Eats
just
'em up.
bottom line.
Eats them up.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a pair of gloves, Kev, that come from Hydro One?
No.
You've never had a good proper
The-
pair of Hydro One Ontario Hydro linesman gloves?
No, I don't think so.
I promise you, the best glove you will ever get given to you.
They're
You
like
don't-
the high risk.
You don't
right?
buy them; they fall off the back of a Hydro truck. But I'll tell you, they're a good glove.
I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had them, but you never know.
I don't know if you can buy them or whether they build them, they make them specifically for Ontario Hydro. Like our local electric company, I guess, or the Ontario's electric company would be that's where he got them from. They'll hand them out to the guys with linesman gloves, but they're incredibly warm and they're very they last forever.
Yeah. Says Buchan has a pair of the Hydro One chainsaw chaps. They must be good too. I've never seen them either. I've never really chatted with the guys other than the guys running the forestry mulchers on the lines, but that's it.
Really? I would say half the. I probably know 25 or 30 guys that work for Hydro, honestly.
Huh.
Like all over the place. It's like the job to have.
Yeah, well, yeah, they get paid well. Renee, Chris, will you have to get plates for the processor to put it on the road?
Not for my truck. No, I know a couple guys that can pull it for me. So,
But you don't need to plate a processor like that there.
No,
in
most instances we went through this.
Yeah,
quite extensively actually. And it because it's incidental use. It's not really built specifically to be on the road. It doesn't need a plate on it.
I'm real good at claiming
Incidental that it's on the highway.
Yeah, if I get pulled over, like, well, I didn't know, start crying.
yeah, like for us here, it's start crying. Cleavage.
That's not nice.
The DOT officer's probably watching this.
There is a YouTuber DOT Officer Hoover. I don't think he follows me though, but there is one on here.
I followed one that was in Indiana. I think it was Indiana State or something. And is that him?
That's Officer Hoover. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He's
he's actually got a lot of really good information.
Yeah.
Oh.
He always hangs out with Let's Dig and Logger Wade and that. Or not Dirt Perfect.
Oh yeah.
He's always with them. So he does courses, but yeah, it's Officer Hoover.
Well, Brad from Fire at the Furnace, he's a retired state patrol officer, so
Oh yeah.
he would know the ins and outs also.
Yeah. Screaming at the scream, you better not haul that with the Tundra.
Oh, yep.
Chris, do you ever think firewood bringing you to the point where you live streaming with Skidder, Kevin, Andrew?
Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think anything like this would happen. When I first started doing firewood and selling it, I was really just doing it for exercise, and I love to do it. And it's taken off. It's unreal. It wasn't really a plan. It just kind of happened.
It's funny, and I'm the one like, oh man, we're gonna have Chris from In the Woodyard on. This is awesome. I can't believe I'm getting someone this big on.
You gotta cut through it. I don't know what it is about people. If you're on YouTube, they think you're special. No, we're just people.
Yeah,
I get that. I get that quite a bit. One person stopped me the other day, and they were so excited to see me, and oh my God, you're real, and there's a distant town. I was like, where the hell do you think I'm gonna be?
I can tell you this: when I leave the bathroom, my wife is mad at me for not turning the fan on.
True story.
Oh,
do you ever laugh about it just a little bit as you leave the bathroom, though? You're like,
Purposely going from the camera.
That's funny. I did that the other day, but like left the kitchen. She went in the kitchen.
What are you doing in the kitchen?
No, not that. Just, you know.
Oh,
solid one.
Yeah, let one go. Left the kitchen. She walks in. She's like, looks back. Like, gotta go.
I'm not quite sure how a group of grown men are laughing that hard about that.
It's always funny. Always. Me and my buddies, it usually always ends up being talking about something along those lines.
Everything turns to smell.
Yep.
Everything.
Chris, is the processor going to the firewood frenzy?
No, it's not going all the way over there. But this is something I'm thinking of doing. I probably haven't told hardly anybody this, so this might be the first time you guys hear it. The logging show this year is in Oshkosh, which is 17 miles down the road from me. And it ends on Saturday at noon. So I'm thinking, and that's the day I really don't want to go to the logging show, because Thursday and Fridays and everything really good happens. Saturday, I'm thinking of inviting a bunch of people to come to my place and fondle the processor. And then Tony said he'd bring his Axis over. Harry said he'd bring his 1222 over, and I have my Ultra. So we'd have a bunch of eastonmade products at my place, and we'd have people play with them. And we think we might do something on that Saturday. So that's at the end of summer.
Well, that'd be fun.
I would be there, but Gage is getting married that day.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. Does he have it planned yet, or is he still waiting?
Oh no, he's got a plan. I wouldn't miss that for the world.
Yeah, that's more important.
John thinks he's got a great idea for TV reality show, Woodyard Rescue. Chris and Kev could come visit people's woodyard to make improvements. Eastonmade can sponsor.
That would be easy. Walk in and say, here's the machine you need.
Yeah.
Just take this with you. You need a 60C. You're doing it all wrong.
Here's a list of stuff you need. There you go. Take it to the bank. Get a loan. He's been shaving his head and beard for about 20 years. It's all muscle memory now. I bet, though, like if you're shaving your head for 20 years, you can probably whip through that pretty quick. So, Chris, I thought you all fancy on us when the beautiful Eastonmade processor showed up. Love it. It's my high school colors.
They're good colors.
Yeah.
I had a lady that was one of our suppliers or vendors for our photography business stop in the other day, and she came in. The first thing she asked me, she says, "What kind of processor do you have?" I'm like, it's an Eastonmade. She says, "I've heard about those." She says, "We do firewood." And I said, "What do you mean you do firewood?" She says, "My husband's a logger, and we sell firewood. And he just bought a processor, and it's a piece of junk, and he's trying to get rid of it." And so she had 100 questions. And so,
oh, that's good.
I told her, I says, "Well, you need to send him up here, and he can play with it and see it." So,
yeah,
the connections is amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy
the
that people
only so big, right?
Yeah,
it's crazy that people somebody coming in for that, and next thing it's, oh, my husband does this. He wants to come see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we should wrap this up now. What do you guys think? We've got a good run on this one, I think.
Yeah.
So, anyway, anything you guys like to add to this before we go?
I think we've pretty well covered all of the topics this evening.
We made it all the way to talk about bathroom topics, so that's about it.
We've pretty well got her covered. I think we got her nipped in the butt here.
Of course, nipped in the butt. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't forget Chris's new channel, Out of the Woodyard. Don't forget to check that out if you like the outdoors, hunting. That's the stuff you want to see. Andrew, check out your merchandise website you got now.
Oh yeah, we'll get on that when we're not so busy.
That's exactly what I tell people.
All right, guys.
Someday you'll see. We just haven't got the storage and stuff for it right now. We're running the shop there next summer. We'll maybe do it then.
All
Where
right.
you find it's the end of the summer, like end of August, I believe. You can just look up Logging Convention, Wisconsin. You'll find it online.
Yeah, for sure. I think Oshkosh Logging Show, I think, comes up too.
The Great Lakes Logging Congress.
Yeah. Well,
there you go.
Yep.
There you go. Well, you want to sign us out here, Chris?
Thanks for being here, folks. Poke all the buttons, hit the like, subscribe, share. Between now and tomorrow, get outside and get cutting. Good night, Irene.
Good night, everyone.